Ya me imagino ahí a Gabe Newell hablando. Bienvenidos a International. Todas esas mierdas que no superan los 7K de conducta ni por la hueva porque ni siquiera van a tener arcano en la caramelería.
Hoy sí, es verdad, ¿no? Yara.
Viejo, a mí ningún puto arcano.
Ay,
Te lo juro que
verdad.
estoy más asado que la mierda.
Verdad, causa, ese es el problema. Causa, yo cuando he comenzado a subir, ahorita que ya puedo hablar, ya tengo como 7K, me ha salido
¿Arcano?
pues.
Puta, no
El
te
de
digo.
Jagger. Es la conducta, huevón, ya va.
Viejo, ¿tú crees que Gabe Newell no quiere ni cagando le va a dar a alguien que tiene 4 o 5K de conducta
No, con
arcano,
razón, Yo
pues?
tenía 12K y me salían arcanos a cada rato.
No me jodas, huevón.
Claro,
Ah,
¿no te
tengo que
acuerdas?
esperar hasta el otro año, carajo, para que tener mi 12K de conducta. Es la conducta, loco. Es que Valve ni cagando le va a dar a gente que tiene 3K de conducta, pues, ¿para qué?
Claro, pues en ese entonces ya yo tenía 12K siempre.
Shanghái, China.
Pero es imposible tener 12K. Tiene que ser
Hasta que juegan 3 al mismo tiempo.
¿Qué más?
Falcons LGD, Enigma, Galaxy contra el equipo de Pure, Bedroom contra OG. En OG están, puta, la verdad es que no sé qué.
No, ya está conocido.
Están los ex TNC, casi ex TNC. Raven, Teams, Skem, Yopa, y en Iron Wing está Pure BCM, pues, 3-3.
Ah, tenemos que esperar, ¿no? Es el delay.
Ari, White Moon, 3-3 tiene 2 TIs, pues. Y adivina qué, Parivision también está jugando. Está jugando Parivision contra Team Resilience. ¿Y sabes quién va a jugar después? En 2 horas con 20.
¿Qué?
Team Spirit contra Extreme Gaming. Extreme Gaming. ¿Y sabes qué es lo más pendejo? Que mañana no trabajo. ¡Ah! No me llamaron para mañana, está bajito, la firma está bajito. Igual van a avisar para pasado. Ya, Ichini-san, ya. Vale, la firma este tía y puta, sí va a estar piola, weón. Mira, es que, ¿sabes qué? ¿Has visto los últimos Majors? No, está viendo los últimos Majors, ¿no? Cuando hemos estado viendo acá en la tele, veíamos acá en la tele, puta, vale, que ver qué ricas partidas se metían los equipos Falcons, así, de los de Tundra, puta, qué partidas, carajo. Esas partidas lo eran todo. Dímelo, tiki. Viejo, ¿qué fue con eso del terremoto en Perú? ¿Cómo la ves? Sí, no. Viejo, te juro es que... Ah, la mierda, es un poco jodido eso. ¿Te imaginas que puta madre mi compu?
mi compu, huevón.
Pensar en mis...
Huevón, piensa en mi jato.
Sí.
Está al lado de un hotel, huevón.
Huevón, yo estoy al medio de dos casas de más de 3 pisos, huevón.
Ah,
Y mi casa es de un piso.
ya.
Y se cae en medio, me caga.
No te va a caer a ti,
Mi puta, ¿cómo? Oye, soy bien pendejo para pensar en mi compu de frente, ¿no? Mi mamá, mi papá, mi abuela, puta que no puede correr tampoco tanto. Mi perrita, mis abuelos, puta madre. Da miedo, huevón. Firme. Es que imagínate que ocurra, que suceda, y estemos en la calle todos desesperados, y nos preocupemos por los familiares ahí nada más, huevón. Viejo, ahí te juro que yo me convierto en un Usain Bolt, huevón, y voy corriendo hasta allá a verlos, porque puta madre.
Llegas, dices, está bien, y pa, te agarra el tsunami.
Tsunami a puta. O yo me acuerdo que me asustaba en los... ¿Cómo se llama? Cuando hacían simulacros.
Oye, mi prima se asustaba feazo, weón. Ella se asustaba feo, weón. Ella se asustaba, se ponía a llorar así.
A pesar de ese simulacro.
Sí, weón. ¿Puedes creerlo? Y cuando hubo cuando hubo un temblor de verdad, Tamara se asustó, weón, corriendo, la agarraron. No, ¿dónde vas? No, estate tranquila. Y se puso a llorar, se la agarraron.
Viejo, pero ¿por qué no simplemente no dijeron
Se
que era
desmayó.
¿Por qué mierda simplemente no le dijeron que era un simulacro y ya?
Se desmayó. No, esta vez sí fue temblor. Se desmayó, weón.
Era un temblor de verdad
Sí.
y se cagó y se desmayó.
El temblor habrá sido de 10 segundos, weón. Se desmayó.
Puta.
6 segundos. 6 segundos. Se trajeron alcohol, ahí un rato esperando que se levante. Cagué de risa.
Vale, mira, la otra que pinta en mi cuarto. Voy a pintar mi cuarto el fin de semana. Ahí su... ¿Cómo se llama? Y me voy a comprar otro foco. Este foco ahorrador en sí, por eso no brilla tanto.
Oh, pero también hay pocos ahorradores también.
¿Y sabes qué? Voy a hacer...
¿Qué cositas? Yo compré uno.
No, pero yo quiero un foco que alumbre bien, pues, el cuarto. ¿Sí? ¿Cuánto ha costado? ¿Que alumbre harto? Ah,
Mi baño, huevón, mi baño, puta madre, cuando yo prendo mi baño y ahora me quedo huevón. Mi baño me despierta.
1000 cositas. Ah, puta, alarma de baño, dices. Loco, así sin huevadas, yo 1000 veces prefiero que una luz me levante a que me alarma. ¿No? Te juro que odio cuando mi alarma de mierda me levanta. ¿No? Me llega al pincho, te lo juro. Hay veces en las que no me levanto, a veces hasta le doy para posponer. ¿Qué pasa? ¿Está piqueando?
¿Por qué no descargas Twitch?
¿Cómo así?
Tu...
Ahorita van a piquear.
Claro, pero vamos a estar atrasados.
¿Están piqueando? ¿Están piqueando?
Sí, sí.
No está piqueando, perra. Ahorita van a pasarlo. Primero están haciendo esa bobada del...
Ya, pero estuvieron moviendo esto.
Son 21.000. ¿A quién mierda estás viendo ahí? ¿Quiénes mierda son?
Es Julio, me ha salido de la nada.
Oye, me pregunto cómo hacen las animaciones, weón. ¿Qué programas usarán? ¿Qué hay detrás de todo eso, no? Toda esa producción también, ¿no?
Ellos usan llave. es más avanzada. Bueno, acuérdate que la primera organización que utilizó inteligencia artificial fue el Dota, pues.
¿Sí?
¿No viste el torneo de Dendy contra una IA? Un torneo de Dendy contra una IA. Cuando pedían que se baneen el equipo.
Ah, OpenAI.
Sí. Ya, pero no hay. ¿Quién es el primero?
Ah, me cagaste, sí, tienes razón ahí.
Sí, su IA debe estar avanzada. Ya la tienen bien educada. IA, Dota.
Ey, no digas eso, no digas eso.
¿Qué?
Ey, no digas eso.
¿Por qué?
Yo me acuerdo que uno ahí en el trabajo dijo, ey, no digas eso, eres perra. No, es que en sí eres perfecta. Pero el coche dijo eres perra, me cae de risa fuertazo, te lo juro. Y justamente pasó una de las que trabajaba ahí. No, Black Wave Palace.
Esta vez estuvo eso.
Ahorita voy a dar, bro. ¿Oblitas?
Con efecto todavía.
Chica. El Pretty Boy, Dirty Boy.
Dirty Boy.
Derry. Viejo, como me encanta el inglés, carajo. ¿Qué mierda fue? Supuestamente empezaba a las 9. Ni siquiera piquean, loco. Yo creo que a las 10. Son 9:53. Viejo, me pica el ojo. Me pica el ojo como mierda. Bueno, cuando te pica el ojo, ¿qué haces? ¿No te lo rascas y ya?
Me lo tapo.
¿Lo cierras?
No, agarro un bolo y me lo tapo.
Puta. Me pica el otro también. Chucha, ¿no veo el día ahí? Viejo, te juro que yo veo Spirit también, te lo juro. Spirit de String Game, y mira cómo abren el International, carajo.
No, ya.
Yo creo que esa es una viejo, es que mira, ¿sabes qué es lo más pendejo? Son como 4 partidas diferentes. Y la quinta va a ser más tarde. O sea, todo el público que va a ver esas 4 partidas va a ver la partida de Extreme contra Team Spirit al final. Imagínate la cantidad de gente que quiere ver esa partida. Puta, es que Extreme Gaming. Ame contra Yatoro, Collapse, Not Nothing to Say, FY, Ex Nova. Está puta, no me acuerdo su offlaner XXS, creo. Lard, puta, Lard más. No puta, de que del. Puta, es TI player y todo, pues no, pero puta, ¿qué chucha soy yo para juzgar, pues, a Lard? La verdad es que no le he visto metiendo tanto pene como otros medios, ¿no? Puta, porque la firme como medio uno tiene que hacerse notar, así, quedar, puta, si es posible 30-0, así, esa mentalidad de quedar 30-0, así, de matar como mierda y saber cuidarte y todo. ¿Qué fue con tus predicts?
No le tengo fe, la verdad. Pero con fe, a esperar. Porque yo llegué al 90 nada más, no llegué al 95.
Llegamos al 95, puta, te daban tus 5. ¿Has
El-
sacado morado?
El temporada, no.
Ibas a sacar uno siquiera.
Llegué al 94, creo.
Puta, yo quedé en el 89, no, que no tuve mi arcano por AME, quedé en el juego 5, pues, y Falcons le ganan en el quinto juego. Hoy todos los TIs, AME los ha perdido por un Magnus, loco. Un Magnus siempre lo ha ganado.
O sea, yo tengo a Extreme Gaming, lo tengo como que va a ganar 4 y va a perder 1.
Mira,
Y va a ser ganador de la eliminación.
mira, escúchame,
O sea, va a subir a...
y en todas las finales que tuvo AME contra... Mira, en sí, puta, fue
No, espera, tú ya hiciste
predicciones, pues.
del que hay.
Todavía falta de la fase de grupos.
Tiene que jugar esto, ¿no?
Sí.
Ya me estaba bloqueando, ya.
No, chill. Te digo, AME se enfrentó, ¿te acuerdas? Contra OG. Su primera final de AME. Se enfrentó contra OG. En el último juego sacaron Magnus de Sep. Magnus sacó su Sep. ¿Qué? Sep sacó su Magnus.
Sí.
Ya. Y en el siguiente, la siguiente final de AME fue contra... ¿Contra quién fue? Contra Collapse. Su Magnus de Collapse. En el último juego encima, juego 5, loco, todos fueron juegos 5 y en el quinto juego siempre hubo un Magnus, huevón. Y en la última del TI contra Falcons, fue el Magnus de ATF. Joder, recontra maldición, loco. Puta. No sé, viejo, puta, yo creo que si este año AME no gana el TI, imagínate que se enfrente contra un Magnus en la final otra vez. Puta, vale, esa es recontra maldición ya.
Iré a jalarme la nutria a ver si empieza, ya regreso. Desde las 8 estoy esperando como que
Yo creo que va a empezar en 2 minutos.
¿Por qué no me investigan? ¿Por qué no investigan a Yuma?
La gente quiere votar a Yuma. Tylon no hubiera cometido esa mierda.
No, es que dicen que no hay ninguna prueba.
No sabría, la verdad.
Dicen que. No, sí, hay videos. Tylon ha salido a dar entrevistas. En realidad no le han encontrado nada.
Puta, es que
Solamente le han encontrado una conversación antigua con alguien de Reacción International. Del 6.
no. Se está viendo.
Siempre me ha salido lo he estado viendo a Flack ya. Lo he estado viendo porque quería hacer mi fantasía, quiero ver, ojalá ganar un morado, porque me gusta el de la Draw y el del Timber. El del Timber creo que es el que más me gusta porque en el momento en el que tú lo atraes el chakra, levanta polvo morado. Y los demás
No, es que
mierda.
en sí tú tiras la ulti y todos esos rayos son morados que están en el círculo del chakra.
Ya, pero también al regresarlo levantas polvo
Sí, pero es demasiado notorio, son demasiado notorios los rayos morados
sí.
que los amarillos o dorados que hay.
Y prefiero eso que el de la Draw o del Storm.
Que todos.
Los demás son mierda, sí, los demás son mierda. El de la Draw, lo que destaco es que tiene una flecha dorada hacia adelante y bota su humo morado.
Mira, sin huevadas,
Nada más.
yo creo que Valve puta tuvo que hacer esa mierda del arcano otra vez.
Sí, pues.
Tuvo que dar arcano otra vez.
Así
Yo creo que todos los años, ¿sabes por qué? Para que gane más público, el Dota.
Así yo cogí otro.
Ah, puta.
Ahí gané el de la Peña.
El de la Venga lo sacaste ahí,
Sí.
maldito enfermo.
Sí.
Puta madre.
Podría haber sacado el de Shadowking.
No, venga, porque el Shadowfin está en la tienda. La Venga no puedes tenerlo ya.
No se va a poder obtener.
La Venga es exclusivo, pues.
Exacto. Ya, me la doy.
No, a mí me hubiera llegado al pene, yo hubiera sacado del mono, Shadowfin o Phantom. Pero más entre Shadowfin y mono. Porque a la firma yo no juego Phantom. Yo no juego Phantom porque no tengo arcano, no tengo sed, huevón. Es horrible jugar sin sed esa mierda de héroe. Imagínate que tengas tu arcana de la Phantom con tercer estilo y puta con la cabeza inmortal. Puta, otra cosa. Y los hombros inmortales, puta madre. Ahí sí me da ganas jugar Phantom. No lo juego. Y eso que sé que es bueno en partidas, ¿sabes? Those. I'm gonna take my axes and put them out when they grow. Up the ringing, out of our bows. I'm in my own town, just like the nose. 2 hours like down, we make the most. Viejo, ¿Qué mierda fue con la puta fase de grupo? ¿Qué demora tanto, viejo? Fue... Ay, producción. Para producción, carajo. Saliste. Se la bola. A ver, puta madre, yo creo que está bien ahí. Chelo. Achucha, me asusté. El 3 of 5, which is streaming like a month ago. Recos. No me jodas, Recos, puta madre. Ah, bueno, vamos a quedar YouTube. Apega, Recos. Vemos porno después del TI. Mandy Muse, Sarah Banks. Puta Jenna Star. ¿Quién más? Pavela Danger. ¿A quién le vas?
Apega.
Recontra Falcons. Mira, solamente voy a decir, depende de cómo chucha brille Thompson en el primer juego, loco. Por ver si no está tan oxidado en un torneo así, puta, como el International.
Oye, ese es un concha de su madre, mi respeto para Thompson a la firme de
Visión.
Yo de acá ya no voy a jugar a no ser que me inviten a un día directamente. Y puta ya. No sé, pero...
Uy,
Es
va.
Boa 3.
Boa, veo.
The moment we have all been waiting for, our first game of the International 2026 is upon us. We got Team Falcons on the Radiant side, LGD Gaming on the Dire side. The first bans are already on the board. The first pick will go the way of Falcons. And yeah, we're in it. I'm here with Saberlight, Fly, and Jenkins, just in case you forgot. And we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of this draft. We already have the Enchantress band that we talked about for Snaking. We have Earth Spirit Centaur removed from the pool as well on the side of LGD. And we got, actually it's LGD first pick, my bad. I was wrong on that one. But we got Treant Protector, Keeper of the Light, Viper and Lina Band. And that means a hero that we talked about is still left in. Please, Saberlight. Why is the Husker not banned?
I love speedrunning being wrong, so thankfully we at least had a break, so I wasn't wrong instantly, but I was wrong like an hour after. But perhaps they will not pick it, and I will not look as dumb. Yeah, they left the Husker. I like the bans. They banned some Ench. Perhaps that's for Darks here. I think Earth Spirit and Centaur, they're just very good Marine heroes. And they also stole the Hoodwink away from Crit.
Oscar de frente, puta, qué loco.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah, that's exactly what we said. And now there's going to be a moment on LGD's side, like, guys, they won't pick Oscar, right? We can
Pero obviamente
doom them
Falcons
or
tiene algo en
impression,
mente,
but then they
bro.
pick it anyways.
¿Qué
The
mierda van a
Hoodwink did
dejar?
not stop the Huskar. Quickly touching on Hoodwink, I do think
Puede
this is
que
going
amar o
to
puede
be
que amar
the hero of the
Ring.
tournament. I think we're going to see Hoodwink
Amar o
in pretty much
Martín, ¿no?
every single game that it's
No, no
not
es amar,
banned,
huevón.
because
Pues.
it is just such a powerful support
loco, los
right
dos
now in
son
the
Huskar
meta.
30.
It can go both as position 4, it can go as position 5. Any hero
La
that
verdad
can
es
deal,
que yo
you know,
creo que
like
se dan
1,000
Huskar
burst
porque los
damage
primeros dos los juegan
and
demasiado
basically
bien.
just have two
Dolor
heroes
de
be able
bola.
to
Puta, la
pick
primera
up
vez que
one
vi
hero
Huskar sacar
on the
mariposa
map constantly, which is what Hoodwink does. I think it's just too powerful. But there's a Huskar on my screen and I'm already worried. I'm already sweating for LGD. Jenkins.
You mentioned the ancient apparition as something that Mallory
Podrían hacer a... Oye,
always
viejo, ¿tú
tries
crees
to
que
ban
Lobby
out. So
salve al
I guess
Huskar ahí
let's
ya?
ignore that for a second and talk about some of the other
Sí, es que
potential
sacan
counters.
Mention.
Doom
El
Bringer?
Omni es
Doom is
BKB.
there.
Es BKB.
It's a long cooldown. And I know
¿sabes?
these really good Huskar players
Pero-
like Malrine are pretty good at playing around it with like blink daggers and only
El
taking
Record puede
fights when you
hacerla
can
ahí,
like kill the Doom
Ya,
or
pero te digo,
when there's somebody behind you and you can like save
es
from the
inmunidad a la
Doom.
magia, ¿no?
Things like
Pero
that. The most
si
frustrating
ultea
thing
es
here for
físico.
LGD, which they knew that this was coming,
Si
is
le
that
da
now the whole
segunda y
draft
mete
is
ulti,
dictated by, okay, how do you counter the
yo creo
Huskar?
que
Because you're
es
not
inmune a
you're not
todo,
going to do it
weón.
from just gameplay, right? You need some sort of counter picks.
On the bright side, this is
A la prima es lo más
something
roto,
they could have
creo.
easily
Dicen,
spent
toma de
weeks
costa igual que
preparing.
yo.
You know, it doesn't matter. You know what you're up against. The game is going to be defined by the Oscar pick as well. So LGD can
Dejo pensar
have
que Whisper veía
crafted this monster
las guías de
plan.
Smash.
And better yet, in this game, if
De
LGD
ahí
is able to
aprendió a
beat it,
jugar, pues, el loco.
this will put Falcons in a
No,
very
que la
different
firma yo
position
algunos días
because
de Smash sí me les
if they're no longer
aplicaba.
going to be the
Esos
team that
ojos,
have
concha su madre,
that
¿qué
first
fue?
phase ban against them always,
Te digo, algunas
it
guías
leaves
de
a
Smash.
lot of options open. The Ancient Apparition does get banned out.
Ay, que ya no
And
ves,
that's
ya,
what the
loco.
part I want to
Enfermo.
highlight is that I feel like both these teams were kind of preparing for the Huskar because I feel like the Hoodwink
Creo
is
que esa
good
mierda ya
hero
se
against
arregla cuando
Huskar on
reinicia la
paper because
compu.
you have your ultimate, it breaks. It's like good. Hoodwink ultimate does counter Huskar, and if you look at the Falcons draft, they already banned Viper and Lina, which are two good mid heroes against Huskar. They're both ranged. They can kind of stay away, not get speared by him.
¿Qué te crees que
So
saquen?
I'm imagining that LGD had a talk with Thompson, like, are you afraid
Recontra ahora
of the
con la
Marine
misma de
Huskar?
café
He
ahí
probably
en la
said,
cocina.
no way, Jose, I can play my Arc Warden or whatever it is. Perhaps?
Maybe that's the whole reason it gets let through.
Sí.
I think Sniper is actually very volatile against Huskar. I think if you are not an excellent sniper,
A ver, voy a
where you don't make
traer
a
mi...
single mistake, the Huskar will just destroy you in lane. And if Sniper has a bad lane, that hero is not very useful in the game. So I know Thompson does play a good sniper, but I'm actually really curious what they're going to pick here to match up against Huskar. And then let's not forget that Amar also plays Huskar.
True. Yes.
They could just be keeping it hidden. I think that's what they'll do. Crystal Maiden. I love this hero, so I'm going to quickly just touch on that. I think that's a sort of this underrated hero in terms of supports, where she's kind of been forgotten, but that is a snaking staple. She's a very solid laner, no pun intended. She has pretty good spells to move around the map, with 2 offensive spells. And I think she lanes okay into Hoodwink because we have like this physical damage barrier with her innate. So I think CM is a nice hero. I don't think it directly counters anything, but I'm glad to see it here, honestly.
Yeah, and we also see the Wind Ranger, which could be both carry and mid. I think Yuma has a really strong wind, but on paper it is good against Huskar mid as well. You have your Wind Run, so you can just trade hits while you have 100% evasion. It's not as good against Crystal Maiden. The roots are a bit annoying, but let's see. Maybe they can leave it like they flex it until the last pick, this Wind Ranger, and it could be both carry and mid.
Yeah, that's a really strong lane. Win Tusk as well. So if Falcons did run a Huskar off lane, he could potentially struggle against these 2 heroes together. It's like lots of physical damage and kill threat on him.
I think they're no longer going to send this Huskar offlane no matter what now. I think when they see this kind of lane, potentially Tuskar Wind Ranger, I think you don't want to lane that. So I think they're just going to focus on putting it mid. And we see a return of Shadow Demon. This hero has been kind of out of the meta and Mars. They're really busting out some of the most, iconic Falcons heroes here because they saw this Wind Ranger and they decided we are going to counter this Wind Ranger. Shadow Demon with the Purge against Wind Run. That means you can always kill the Wind Ranger in fights. Mars against Wind Ranger, another very good hero where you can arena her, keep her in place because, Wind Ranger is this very mobile hero. So they are directly countering, and indeed, they decided that this Huskar is just going to go mid, which I think makes sense, it's logical. So now is the question, what is Thompson going to do? Is he going to put it in mid? Are they going to counter this Mars with some kind of Yuma hero?
¿Te imaginas que me caiga
Actually,
tomando mi
Meepo's not that
trago,
bad
así
against
todo mi trago
Mars. Just
encima?
saying. Just saying.
Good pull. No,
Yeah, it's a decent Meepo game. Well, how is CM against
Con
Meepo?
las huevas. Uy, más,
I don't
más,
think it
más,
matters that much
pulmón.
because you're going to
Más
root
de
one
más, ese de
Meepo. It
más.
doesn't do...
well, with the
Como
shard,
esa
you
la
could
madre.
root all of them, so
Porque
then
Madrid también
maybe
juega
okay,
más.
but
It's not enough, I think, to dissuade
El
you.
Demon es buen pick, el Demon es
Ooh,
muy buen
even
pick.
spicier. And that's a good hero. They have maybe like a CM route against him and a spear, but that's about it. Otherwise, it's really hard to kill this PL from the Falcons heroes. And it is Windranger mid. Well, or offlane actually. Whisper also plays Wind.
That's true.
Okay.
It's the classic LGD of flexing everything because we know the supports can either play the Tusk or the Hoodwink. They can put that in either lane. The Windranger can go now mid or off lane. So if I'm Falcons and I assume it's the Skitterl aspect, it's pretty obvious here. He kind of needs to address this PL, I think.
No.
But they already banned the Sven, which is one of the best counters to PL. I don't know what else is there. Maybe like some Luna. You just need some AoE damage to deal with the illusions.
No se sabe,
But like a
porque no se ve ahí.
Necrophos, something like that, that's a pretty hard hero for PL to play against pretty much the entire game, honestly.
It could work. I can see that.
No se ve.
And then, oh, I see. So Falcons, they are banning an offlaner. They're assuming it's Wind mid, which makes sense. But yeah, the Falcons ban are a bit harder in this situation because you'll basically need to. Oh, they have last pick, right? Falcons have last pick. So at least they'll see like how the lanes are when they pick their carry.
10 seconds remaining.
At Darkseer,
Puta, que la firme no
being
es mal
banned
pick
does
ahorita
make
la
me lean
que está en el video,
towards
¿sabes? Por la Cris en
the
el
Luna
parte sí
type
lo caga
heroes
al-
that
¿Qué banerías ahí?
are really good to get an illusion
Viejo,
of.
yo creo a la firme así sin huevadas. Yo
There's
creo que
also
el P le va a
Alchemist.
sacar
I think that could be an
mata-matas.
interesting hero for Falcons.
Yeah.
Like additional
Ah, búscalo,
initiation, which is something they
cágasela
like.
Crystal, su
It's a
ulti.
hero that buys Radiance, not too bad against PL. And
varias para
funny enough, I
soportar
actually think
con-
Crystal Maiden is one of the best supports in the game
Puede sacar-
against
no, dudo que
Phantom
saque
Lancer
Shaker.
because you have a lot of AoE spells and her ultimate just destroys illusions.
True.
Dudo mucho que saque
Obviously, she could also get punched and instantly die in the fights. That could also happen. But if she doesn't and she gets her spells off, it's one of my favorite supports if I had to choose something against PL.
I got a spicy one.
La vuelta también.
Skeeter, Tide Carry.
Que los desaparece.
That might be a little too spicy for me. I'm gonna stick with the Alchemist and the Necrophos, but they are gonna see everything, so they get to choose the best possible matchup. So what are we thinking for LGD actually? Because they have to make the choice. Where's this Windranger going? And I think it's just gonna be mid at this point because they know the matchup.
Is any of the signatures that Whisper had, of course, Darkseer is already out, is it still viable for either a Bat Rider or an Enigma? Is that completely out of the question?
Siento que una Venge
It's
pueden
hard
banear,
to
güey.
say, right? Because it's a blind pick.
Yeah.
So he doesn't know what he's
Siento que
laning
una
against.
Venge va a
So
haber
some
en su
Enigma can get a bit scary because
Ok.
Gyro
¿Sabes por
Counter
qué? Puede
and
cancelar la
Bristol,
la
they
ulti.
kind of destroy you when you're
Si el
playing
Mars
Enigma.
encierra a alguien,
I imagine
la
he's
Venge
gonna
puede
pick.
cambiarlo.
Yeah, I agree with Tal that it's probably Windranger mid, and I would imagine Whisper picks some melee hero that pairs well with the Hoodwink.
Ni cagando, no lo creo.
What that hero is up in the air. Maybe I can see like some
¿sabes por
Brewmaster.
qué?
I don't know if he plays it.
Porque es-
What do you want
este,
out of it? You want
Falcons
some team
está baneando
fights?
offlaners. Mira, mira el
Yeah.
Darcy.
The Doom is still there
True.
for the Huskar counter. That's a melee hero. I mean, it's a bit greedy having like PL, Doom,
No,
Wind.
huevón,
Who's gonna do something on your team?
Thompson on the Windranger.
I also believe like their approach to this Huskar on LGD isn't necessarily let's counter him one to one
El
with the
único
Doom.
que lo puede
Let's counter
salvar
him
solo sería el Tuskar.
with
Nada más.
our
El
like
único
free
que lo
man
puede
basically,
salvar, el
because
Tuskar.
as long as Wind, Tusk, and Hoodwink are together on the same screen, clicking heroes, clicking spells on this Huskar, he will die because they have enough stuns, they have enough physical damage, they also have a break, so they don't necessarily need to counter him, I think, anymore. But they might.
Baneado Dawnbreaker.
I'm actually curious because I think you can usually look at the bans and that sort of tells you the narrative of what they want. And these bans kind of tell me Enigma still. I know it's a little sus because they can pick the Gyrocopter and stuff, but if you're a confident Enigma player, and I do think they want to put the Tusk as a position 4 because Phantom Lancer should lane better with a Hoodwink in lane, just natural synergy.
Tienen poco tiempo de
I can
reserva.
see Enigma, that is my call. Let's see. I was wrong. That's a
huevón.
different range hero though. A Whisper
No me
special.
jodas,
A Whisper
güey.
special, or is he gonna? They're gonna still swap
They could, theoretically, they could.
up in the air in Discord, maybe. A quick question: how much impact do you think Windranger level 5, the execute talent, is good against Huskar? Like, are we even gonna get there, or is that so late
me
that
jodas.
it's nice
Ya lo
when they get
cagamos,
it, but
ya,
it's not like part of the discussion?
I think we might get there. I think both. Well, I think LGD
Ahí
wants
está el
the late
dog.
game. PL
Yeah.
is a hero that scales really
Puta
well to a
madre.
late game, so we'll see. If Falcons are able to like make early game moves, open some towers, and just end early, then I think they're happy with it. But yeah, late game, if Wind gets this talent, PL gets his items, then it gets really hard for Falcon.
Let's go Alchemist.
Well, they got only 7 seconds left, so yeah, this decision needs to be made.
Tendrías que parar tú el
Indeed,
video.
the Alchemist.
Good calls, good calls.
¿Ya picaron?
Yeah, I think the Alchemist just makes sense. It's just Falcons, right? We know they're gonna pick their signature heroes, and they literally pick like the most iconic Falcon heroes that I can think of, like some of them. They needed a Radiance hero, something, an additional initiation from the Mars, so you have like this double jump, which I think Falcons loves. So this is honestly exactly what we predicted. This is stability versus chaos. We're gonna have a PL, which we didn't really expect. We have this Thompson Windranger mid. I don't even know how good Windranger mid is, right? Like, it's a bit of an X factor for me.
No, that's what we expected, the X factor in the mid. So that's, yeah, I don't think anybody was expecting the Huskar to be let through. So that's another X factor there coming out. Is there a team you're leaning towards with this on the board?
Honestly, I'm definitely going for Falcons.
Okay.
I think I'm just naturally inclined towards the stability discipline, and I'm like, I can see what they're doing. This is this classic Falcons. I also really like the Shadow Demon as like a counter to this Wind Ranger. I think this is a hard Wind Ranger game.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is going to be up to Yuma getting a good game and Whisper getting a good game. But I don't know, this is classic Falcons. I'm going to go with them.
We're going to find out if Falcons, the defending champions, can start the day with a win on the board, or will LGD start their honeymoon phase here on day 1 of the group stages of the International. We're finding out with our commentary duo. It's Odie Pixel and Fog.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yes, absolutely looking forward to this one. And thank you very much all at home for your patience as we've been waiting to get into the action of this one. Falcons versus LGD. We're going to have a lot of fun here, Fog. Already, we're just seeing Thompson turning up here with LGD. And he absolutely would have said to them, I don't care about the Huskar. Leave it in. I've got a plan. His plan is the mid-Wind Ranger. Is it a good enough plan?
It's a hero kind of counter, but in the game overall, like they were saying, is it actually a good hero in the overall state of things, right? Where I have to say, because this is definitely a really different kind of style that we maybe anticipated in overall games, but for this specific two teams playing against each other, we knew that this was going to kind of happen, right? We knew this Huskar, it was going to be posed a question, you got to answer it, let's see if they actually did it.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to see play out. And also, obviously, just a question for me looking at Falcons lineup. Yes, it's Falcons as stable, heroes, no surprises. It's what we know they like to play. But one of those heroes does stick out, because the last few times we've seen it over the past few months, the Mars, this hero, it always loses Fog. It's had some changes, some buffs,
Small.
but very small. And obviously, a Mars, one of, if not the best Mars in the world. Can he show us that this is the hero right now?
I mean, this is going to be a definitely test, and I think when you're playing like the first game of group stages, this is the time to test it. We not only have Mars, right? We have CM as well too, which is the most popular shirt.
But Falcon, he loves it. Always tries to find to get the CM. And the CM, I don't mind, right? We do CM, and I feel like CM, honestly, I would say maybe underpicked. I think other teams might look at this hero and see a position for it. As you can see, we do unfortunately just have a little bit of a pause. Hopefully there's a little bit of a pause. Hotkeys, nothing. It's going to be fine. This pause is only going to be a couple of minutes. Don't quote me on that.
El Huskar de Madrid.
Action. So we just get reconnected back in.
But I think Tal summed it up really well toward the end of the things, right? It's what we anticipated from these teams, but overall for the overall state of this TI, we're not going to see drafts like this from every single team, not by any means. We didn't get Io or Largo even touched. I know a lot of teams are talking about how popular these were, so yeah, we'll have to see what we get. As we said, stability versus volatility. Let's see which one reigns supreme in this one.
Absolutely. Thompson. So good news, obviously, for all the top. Well, I was a little worried myself, coming to TI. I was like, well, I'm probably not going to be able to keep up with all the Thompson streams. Well, lo and behold, we are the Thompson stream now. So we're ready to go with him, ready to play here. Mid for LGD into quite a challenging matchup. As you say, sure, hero to hero. There are reasons for the Wind Ranger, but you're still turning up to TI in your first game. It's in the mid lane against the Maori and Huskar. That's quite a challenge.
And we got to mention the game overall for the Wind Ranger, right? There's an SD Purge. It's one of the absolute hardest counters in the game to the hero. You can't really use Wind Run too effectively. There's not great other targets to really purge either, too. So
they've got some. Well, they've got the snowball.
They've got the snowball.
There is
and
a
the cookie.
save
They've
and
got some.
Yeah.
So there are potentials to kind of protect him, but that is one of the hardest things. And same thing for Mars. You get that Wind Ranger in the arena.
You can't.
Vengan pues cabros, vengan, vengan.
And you don't want to buy a BKB because who wants to buy a BKB? You want the damage items, you want the flashy stuff, especially when you're someone like Thompson playing it in the mid. So we'll be excited to see what sort of build he does go for.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see also, right, like the Snapfire, we have to address, it's gotten nerfed quite a lot. Teams not really straying too far away from it still, but we'll have to see how that ends up working for Whisper in the soft lane. I know it's one of his favorites. He has a super aggressive lane that he's probably going to have, right, with the Tusk, so see if he can put that pressure onto the out.
Do those nerfs mean that it's kind of been pushed out of roles such as the mid, or you think we will still see mid Snapfire?
Well, certain mid Snapfires weren't really nerfed. GPK wasn't even going the Spellcaster build a lot of the times, right? Sure, I think he started to switch toward the end, adapt, and be the same as some of the others, but I think we could still see the chance of it.
LGD gonna try and annoy Amar a little bit here. If they've got enough to bring him down with the two of them.
He should be okay.
I think so. We'll just take a little bit of damage on the way out.
Nice rebuke usage. As soon as the tag team gets popped, rebukes them back. He actually, I think they missed like 2 full seconds of that tag team there. So this is what LGD is very good at doing. So I know they're talking about stability versus kind of chaos in a way of these teams, but something the two supports from LGD are always very good at doing is stability in early game of planning their moves, right? They always end up blocking camps. I think Saberlight was mentioning too. Sometimes when you go to those side camps, those supports are just there. So they're very good at determining what they want to do, in the first like 5 to 10 minutes of the game. If it's going to work, we'll have to see.
And so the last pick for Falcons, going for the Alchemist, as our panel what Tal predicted. What are we seeing from the Alcs nowadays? Are we getting Aghanims coming up early in the build, or you're building entirely for yourself? How does it vary when you're playing the Alc safe lane at the moment?
I think still those Radiance BKB, then you can start giving some of them if you feel like...
Who's getting an Aghs this game? Like, who are the hot kind of early Aghs? I mean, the 50s.
Husker, sure, yeah. Tends to go to the mid laner as well, too. Bottom, a lot of damage. Whisper's alone.
Should be able to take him out here. Yes, they will. Skeeter gets out the first blood. Start things off here in the safe lane as the Alchemist.
Insanely far up there. Gets isolated, just gets brought down. This CM, you know, something they were mentioning. Hero you don't play against too often nowadays, too. It can catch you a bit off guard. Does do a lot of damage, is pretty strong in terms of the laning phase. It's a mid matchup, right? We got to see how it ends up going. They picked it specifically for Thompson. Not only, of course, for the matchup in the mid lane. Of course, later you can just focus fire the Huskar. You have ways to address him, but it is to be able to not, just get crushed by these fire spears. But as we know, Maureen, the best Huskar.
Yeah, he's definitely going to play against a few mid-win rangers in his time. So not an uncomfortable situation for Marin to be in. So far, Thompson keeping up very well with the CS.
AJ.
If that continues as the levels come in. Poison stack up. Crit's going to be able to bring down King Jungles on the top lane. Already able to find some early kills on both of the side lanes here, Falcons.
A lot of the games that we've seen, me and you, right? The Mars, he struggles from the moment the game begins, too. And I feel like they got him in a position where I don't know if his lane is going to be too difficult, right? We look at the PL, it's hard to get aggressive with this hero in the laning phase versus something like Mars. So I am looking at Amar this game, and it looks like... I'm going to hold it a little bit. It looks like a pretty decent Mars.
Setup's nice.
Right? There are ways to play around. He's got ways to set up with the SD. He's got someone else that's going to lead the charge for him with either the Huskar or the Alp, so... Trading here with Theo. And some things we should, of course, mention with this Alc and this Crystal Maiden. I would say that these two are the big addressers of the PL in the game. As Fly was saying, the CM can be sometimes, not really the best because you just get exploded, but you have ways of controlling the illusions. You have ways to slow down the attack speed with your ultimate at times, so...
Thompson slightly fallen behind now. The denies starting to go in the favor of Maureen, but at the least, showing no signs, of course, as this Wind Ranger of getting bullied out of the lane. He's able to hold his own.
And I know something me and you were mentioning to each other was, are we going to see that early rotation that comes out from like a Tusk? Because they do have some pretty decent ones to try for. And okay, small adaptations. Orb Frost has been buffed recently as well too. So I was hoping we'd get to see more of this picked up. We're getting to see it at least from mid lane versus a Huskar.
What are you going for first as the mid lane ranger? You're still just getting the Javelin, or...?
What do we see? Treads, right? Treads, and then what was Makoto, the one that we saw doing it the most? I think he went Dragonlance a couple of the games that we saw. I can't recall exactly, so we'll have to see.
You never know with Thompson.
No,
Might have
exactly.
something, in particular that he's cooked up, which I imagine he would have. Knowing that he was going to be going against Falcons here in this first game against Marine, who if they leave the Huskar in, he's going to pick the Huskar. Thompson's preparation has probably gone beyond just I'm picking Wind Ranger. He's got something exactly in mind for this scenario that any mid in this situation would have known that they were going to be in if they leave the Huskar in the pool.
It's hard to vary too much, though, right? As these Wind Rangers, you can't go for something crazy like a, I don't know,
Lamar.
Weird item. Amar has the Lotus. Looks like he should be all right.
Gonna be all right. Plays it cool.
Has a lot of HP built up here. Steps up again. Doesn't give me a lot.
Yeah, but he's feeling confident. He's gonna be ready to press that Lotus if he needs to. He's sort of teasing with the mirror, Amar. Yuma wants to chase. Oh!
The power shot.
This comes in just in time from Amar.
That was very close to being top as well.
Yeah, that was as close as he gets there. Nice attempt from Thompson, but Amar, he was more than ready for that.
Very straying slightly away from the mid lane. Sure, not a crazy amount because you're Wind Ranger, you can do it from such a distance, but looking at the last hits, definitely feeling that pressure from Malorine in the mid lane. Bottom lane, though, even though they did kill Whisper, we're seeing the effect of that Snapfire with the Tusk. Very strong versus Skeeter, so much burst damage if he does step up. Still a threat.
It's going to be good setup for Whisper to get some good ults off this game. Right, having like a Tusk, a Wind Ranger, Hoodwink, looking to set things up with their stuns up front.
And they don't have, let's say, like, distance close, right? Ways to gap close in a way. This Snapfire could be a little hard to get to sometimes to cancel the ult,
That's true.
right?
It's going to be down to the Mars, right?
Yeah.
Having Amar getting the blink online.
Like, they want to get the initiation for the most part onto the snap to prevent him from getting those far kisses, because they have great ways to blast from the distance. Skeeter?
The course been nice and annoying here for Skeeter.
Very obnoxious.
Showing that he doesn't have an easy time picking up the camps down here on the bottom.
The lanes already look to be broken. They're actually shifting KJ down here too. The PL in a 1v1 versus the Mars. So let's see how Yuma is now going to do as he's been left alone up here. Not easy for them to really set up onto this PL. Bottom, Snay.
I mean, he's really trying to do his best to keep Theolacor and King Jungles away from Skeeter, but nice little snowball comes into play, and Snaking's going to lose his life for this. Big pressure being put on here by the two supports to just really try and slow down this Alks early game.
That's what I was mentioning early on. That's the biggest thing I've always seen from LGD is these two supports. Like, when the way that they pick and choose their moves early on, they know who they want to pressure, and as we're seeing, it's the Alchemist. But that does mean you're going to have to deal with this big Huskar. Unless you want to make another rotation at some point soon, you're going to have to accept the fact that he's going to have this armlet, he's going to be able to show up to these side lanes, he's going to be able to assist.
Bring King Jungles back up to the top here as Yuma's starting to feel the heat here under the tier 1. Further TP's coming into play. Thompson is going to be looking for the rotation. Straight in with a focus fire on a crit. Not the protection of the disruption to hold Thompson back, but as it comes to an end, Thompson continues to chase down. The rest of LGD look to close it onto Amar. Crit taken out. Power shot's going to be off the mark. Shouldn't matter though, as they'll be able to chase Amar down with the rotations. Take down the two of them. Thompson gets the double.
Punishing the aggression. They went under the tower. They're a bit deep. They had everybody already rotating through the gate there from the two supports, and Thompson with the quick move. Yuma staying very low on HP here to kind of bait them as well too. Very nicely done. Yuma does have to be careful. You know, some small mechanic interactions that we do see. The Shadow Demon Poison, right? You can't dispel it. So it's always going to indicate a lot of times which one that real PL is. So Yuma does have to be quite a bit careful, but his farm looking pretty decent. Sure, he's at the bottom of the course, but, well, bottom of the other course. The Mars now, though, is the lowest one after that death.
And this is the thing, right, that Thompson can do to kind of keep on track with the net worth of the Huskar. And Marin, sure, once he's got the arm, that he's going to be making these moves up and down the map. But even then, he's never going to be able to be as mobile as the Wind Ranger that can very quickly zip up and down the map, look to get involved in these early plays, and find these sort of dream situations where Thompson gets both of the kills going his way.
And overall for Malorine, right? Sure, going to the PL's lane can be easy, but going to these other lanes, they're not the easiest ones. Focus fire, the Snapfire kisses now at this point. There's definitely kill threat if Malorine's not careful. So some very good pressure plays as we see from LGD now in these last few moments. Not letting Skeeter get some good time. Skeeter's still in level 5.
Yeah, pretty deep. 8 minutes in, already playing around this cliff. Malorine, he's going to have something to say about this. He's going to look towards Thompson. Thompson turns with the focus fire, concoction out onto Thompson. Got to be a bit careful, keep his distance now from Malorine as the win run comes to an end. They'll lose Theolacor.
A little too deep this time. Really trying to put that pressure onto Skeeter here, but the numbers turn up from Falcons this time. And Amar will be very happy about that too, because that all the enemies turn up into his jungle. He's able to hit that top tower a bit here and catch up on the Mars as well too.
And what do you sort of see this game from? Is it going to be Soul Ring into the Blink, or is it going to be some sort of Soul Ring Yules build from Amar?
It's a pretty good Yules game.
I do like the Yules.
It's good versus the Windrunner, right? Yep. Good versus the Snap as well too. Some protection if he needs it. So good to see it. Amar.
Going to be some reaction to this.
Going for a solo play here is incredibly risky.
Yeah, Yuma TP's in and quickly behind him. Steal the core. They're closing onto Amar. He was not ready for the fast TPs.
Kinda. I mean, he going for that play was pretty.
But maybe he's setting up the long-term play. Marion and Critter here. See what they can get response, but the kisses are coming in, so Marion cannot push forward for now. Has to start backing off. He's going to end up with Yuma getting a double. Not going to connect in time, so Marion at the least will be able to bail out there.
But that was, I mean, hemorrhaging a bunch then. That was, honestly, Amar playing way too far forward, going for some type of like little pressure solo play, and there's quick reactions. LGD, last 5 minutes, all going their way, at least in terms of them pressuring and slowing down any of this farm. Alchemist, though, as we're seeing, Skeeter is starting to get that catch-up because of
even with that pressure that they're trying to put on him, he is still managing to not fall too far behind, so should be on track to still have a pretty solid entry into this game as the out.
So perhaps maybe this is something they're, you know, it's not like Amar wants to die there, right? But he wants to try to pull some attention away.
Yeah.
So.
Pressure coming on the tower as well. I mean, Amar had to cancel his TP back out to lane. The fact that LGD still had the 4 of them up here.
Love how aggressive they're playing.
I mean, TP'd in, but he's also going to have to cancel his TP.
They did reveal their ward, though. That was a sneaky position that he is TPing from, so the fact that they see it gets identified. Amar is 6. Considering if he wants to drop the ulti.
He's thinking about it. Honestly, might just settle for King Jungles. He's going to get the push back up pretty quickly, but will not save himself. Mar's going to push on for more. We'll get the courier. Can't quite find any opportunity, though, to catch anyone else in the arena.
No, not the easiest with the Tusk around. Tusk can bypass that arena, of course, with the snowball. So, and with the space, yeah, Thompson doesn't make the shift toward tops. His team had enough, and he's going to go Maelstrom.
Going to go for the standard.
Yeah, more of the standard, unlike we've seen like Makoto and a couple others do. Cool.
I like this. I mean, I do feel sometimes when they don't go for the Maelstrom, it just feels like such a great item on the Wind Ranger. Like, just... it's like, well, if you don't go Maelstrom, you feel like you're missing out.
He'll have some great scaling, that's for sure. He's going to give him the extra, of course, not true strike, but versus the Radiance as well, too. When he's hitting the Alchemist, that'll also be pretty decent as well. Getting those extra little procs that can bypass.
Radiance timing should still be pretty solid for Skid, as we say. They really did try their best to put the pressure onto him, but he's still finding ways to stay at the top of the net worth now as the Alchemist.
Slow down a little, right?
Yeah,
we have
it's not like a dream out start, but considering the circumstances, I feel like Skidder is definitely getting more than LGD wanted him to with how much focus they were putting on him.
The fact that the Huskar lineup, though, is the team that has lost their first 2 towers in particular, right? The top tower did die with the rotations from Falcons, but losing their mid, losing their safe lane, it allows LGD to have access to these jungle caps a lot easier, and honestly, Falcons, they want to hit a lot of jungle. When they have this Alchemist, even when they have this Huskar still at this point. And the scaling, we do have to look, right? LGD has some very strong scaling. So does Falcons, of course, but a PL, a Snap, and a Wind Ranger as it gets to these super late stages, when they have built-in breaks as well, too, for a Huskar, can be pretty problematic, so.
And it is early days, but as so many times, Fog, when we've seen teams try the Mars over this last year, it falls off, and then it never gets back up. And we're seeing at the moment, now Mars at the bottom of the network.
Nice shackle.
Coming into the kisses. Not enough time to initially get the kill. He's surviving throughout this all. They will finally bring him down. Is he going to survive? Yeah, he's going to be fine. The spears won't kill him off. Marion gave it his best shot there with the armlet toggles, was not enough to survive. As LGD come out top, and more top lane, they try to Yuma, but King Jungles comes in with a sharpshooter and just bursts through Amar. So the arena comes out, and oh dear. Crit, he also might be in trouble. He'll have a disruption. Should be able to catch him with the stun, King Jungles. Yuma's closing in.
Yuma, careful!
Oh my goodness,
the poison!
Nearly dead!
Oh my god,
a blood grenade! He's bleeding out!
He's alright.
Okay.
That was insanely close, so I think he got, what, the 4th or 5th poison stack there. Snake trying to get a sneaky play. No way.
I mean,
he's got him.
There we go, that blood grenade with the Snake King. Okay. He's trying to hold the team together as everything else kind of falling apart a little bit here on that top play there from Falcons. They try and go with this move with the arena, but goes horribly wrong. It's another death on Amar.
We said it was going to be more stability from Falcons. So far in this game, we're seeing the stability quite a bit more, I would say, from LGD. Some questionable plays a little there from Falcons bottom, though. Those nice toggles, but it wasn't enough. Thompson showing up with this Wind Ranger so far. 4 kills for him.
Very, very, very clean entry into the game from Thompson.
Top 2 net worth as well. Not too far behind an Alchemist.
Oh, see if they can do something about him here. The shackle.
There's the purge.
It's going to cause some issues. Destruction will stop the sharpshooter from hitting.
He's caught.
They'll take the 4 of them, but they do bring him down, and the kill goes the way of Maureen. Puts an end to the streak.
Having a good entry to the game. Now that Shadow Demon is online, though, has the level 6. The Purge will be something Thompson has to be able to address somehow with his teammates. Snay, he's going to do what he always does. Bit greedy, right? Rushing that shard. I think it's something you have to do on the CM, so you can continue to get that farm. And it is very good versus PL and versus Tusk. Having that secondary root can prevent the saves pretty effectively. Amar.
Getting some good info here, Theo Lecor. He's able to set up straight away on a Snake King here off the back of that invis. They take him out.
And Amar, Roche.
Watch out for the Roche. Whisper jumps in. Amar trying to crawl away. Should be speedy enough, though, with the phase boots. He'll get out.
Space for Skeeter, I guess.
I see, that's the thing. Skeeter
they're
is
trying
enjoying
to do.
all of this space.
Right.
Even if these plays up top don't go smoothly for Falcons, Skeeter is getting all the space in the world down on the bottom side of the map.
Okay.
They want to do something about it. The smoke's coming in. LGD, they're going to get back on to trying to slow down this Alchemist game. They're looking for the gank in the jungle. Let's see if they find him.
And Amar is going...
He's a step ahead. He's already out.
And Amar is going for the blink instead. I guess because of that reach thing that we were indicating as well, too, being able to get into the back lines, get that clean initiation. Sure, Yules is excellent this game, but wants to just have that initiation so he can stop
it's fair.
kisses.
But it can be risky, right? Because then you are this hero that is a little behind. You've got that blink. If you jump in and you die, it gets kind of tricky making the team fights work. So let's see what they can do here with the blink reveal. Smoke up from Falcons. They've got to hit hard with this one.
Purge is online, so it does have it again available for Thompson. If he gets found, very likely just dead. Whisper's farm continues to be pretty crazy. The power of the Snapfire sure has gotten some nerfs, but still, as we're seeing, lane is good. Farm potential is great.
They've sort of got Theo Lecor in position to try and block off this move.
Skeeter.
But he's been seen and they go in with the blink. They catch him. Snowball comes out, buys him some safety here from the spear. The Snowball actually taking him out of the arena. Isn't enough to get him away from this. He's going to try for the 2 people. There's a frostbite up. They'll bring Thompson down.
Was having a good entry. Now they're starting to find these kills onto him. Getting a bit aggressive there. Gets found. Good shackle, but nonetheless, they have more than enough to catch him. Yeah. Falcons, they're reading the movements.
They are.
You said, they're hemorrhaging some of these kills, but it's their sacrificial lamb that's the one who's, getting killed. It's the Mars a couple times, and Skitter, he's getting all the benefits from all of it.
But then I guess on the sort of the flip side for LGD, it's sort of at a moment where, sure, Falcons, they can go for these plays where they're like, let's hunt down Thompson. We've got to kill Thompson. But Yuma's kind of like, Thompson, you've done enough. Sure. My game is set to go. I'm going to have the chance now to get this, the PL online. You've done enough. It doesn't matter if they're ganking you. I'm going to be the one that's able to take this game to the next stage.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we do have a bit of similarities coming from both sides in that front.
Yeah.
Because this is, as we said, it's going to get to a point where it's a difficult Wind Ranger game. There's going to be these answers. But for the PL overall, his game as it gets later and later looks pretty damn good, right? If he eventually gets that Scotty timing, it's 3 strength healing cores. Like, actually, it's 3 strength healing cores. It's not the Mars as much, but Huskar and Alchemist, that Scotty's going to be fantastic.
Gonna get some nice, easy setup here for Maureen.
Starting to get some big kills here. Maureen, up to that 4-1. He's got the Lance finished up. And these heroes, as you said, triple strength cores too. They're going to get very tanky very quickly. BKBs are also going to be huge, especially when Skeeter's able to get his. Once he has his, it's very limited options for them to really go for the kill on the Alchemist.
It's a step ahead here, Amar. Whisper though, ready to follow up, and Amar not going to get any help here.
Still, he is definitely struggling though, as we're seeing.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
9-12, nice action-packed early game here. And yeah, it's going to be BKB, as we figured, right? BKB, and then he can start going for, if he feels like they want to go for those Aghanims, or if he wants to just build along for himself. It is also a very good just Alchemist building for himself game, to be honest. Going for like these ACs and bashers and whatnot. It is quite nice for him. So we'll have to see if he does want to go down that route. Thompson, as we said, needs a BKB this game, but that's not going to be the end-all be answer. Can just get purged. Going to be able to bypass that completely, but will be able to prevent him from just getting stuck inside that arena.
Falcons, they want to go again here. Amar, straight in. Gets the jump on the Thompson. TP's are coming in to try and help out. He's going to miss the spear. And now with the Kisses coming in and back up around, Thompson's fine. They just turn. They're going to be able to blow up Maureen.
He gets a tip for that one.
Oh, that's, yeah. We'll see if Skeeter can clean up anything in return. Another great tackle comes in from Thompson into the cookie setup, onto the both of them. The Olacore does die, but Skeeter, he's in trouble. The ult comes out here and attempts to buy space for Skeeter to back off, and honestly it does. It allows Skeeter to get out of there, thinking able to rectify some of the fight. Skeeter does jump back forward, but they still manage to snipe King Jungles at the end with a spear. So
what an insane fight.
They get the support kills. They do lose their mid, and as you say, could have been a bit smoother there from Amar, but off the mark with the spear initially.
It's also losing the Huskar, right? A hero that you don't really want to have these type of deaths on can hurt quite a bit into your scaling potential as these later stages. So yeah, spear off the mark. I believe Amar had just bought the shard as well too, so that hurts quite a bit there.
We saw very quick to turn up to that.
Yeah, and Thompson, he's getting some really nice shackles, gotta be honest. There's a couple there that we've seen. Smoke, LGD, Mars Arena's on cooldown, same thing for that Chemical Rage. They're gonna take advantage of that.
See who they can catch. At the moment, it's the two supports that are the closest from Falcons. They'll settle for it.
Quick, easy one. Tormentor is also up. If they can go through the portal and set up for it, it is a potential for them.
They can take it down pretty quickly.
They can. And hard for, as we said, for Falcons to contest. Sure, they've got Arena, but can they even get there in time? It's not really looking like they can.
Would be risky if they did want to try. Probably just going to let this one go to LGD.
Yeah, I feel like we're seeing, you know, even though we talked about it a lot, the panel did too, right? The stability versus the chaos. I feel like we're seeing, even though it is the chaotic thing from LGD, it's a little bit more of the stability from them with the way that they're predetermining their moves, making that move top for potential kill, but then it just progresses them into that Tormentor. So some really clever stuff. KJ gets the shard, one of the better ones you can get to.
Can you, if you're LGD, contest this rush?
Ultis are online, they're healthy. Can they get there in time though? I think they can, yeah. It's not easy for Powerade to just go for this.
Yeah, they're a little hesitant on fully committing for the Roshan, especially with LGD just sort of back off the map.
Uh-oh, look at Amar's queued up. We always talk about this. It's never a good sign when we see Amar.
And he's not going to buy it.
Not going to buy it.
He's not going to buy it.
It's a frustration Midas queue up. Gotcha gets popped. They're trying to secure the area here to...
Yeah, they want to fight first.
Yeah, or fight first. Because the BKB is there for Skeeter now, so he is very strong in the fight. PD though, BKB's now finished up for Thompson. Falcons is going to continue to poke it. Continue to get this information here with Amar.
Yeah, trying to speed it up here with the CMO.
Looks like they should be able to get it now with all this. Speaking of, you know, also, we had to mention this Crystal Maiden. He's level 13, Owen. Quite high level.
He's having a good time.
Yeah, only level 10. And we did mention the CM, he is going to be kind of this hidden factor versus the PO as the game goes on.
We'll be interested to see what Amar does spend his money on. What do you think he's considering? Is it
he just goes BKB?
Just
yeah, I think it's a BKB game. When you're playing versus Snapfire, it's too much overwhelming damage. That puts the Hoodwink. Ag's done, so Yuma getting closer and closer toward those big timings.
They're going to make the jump on a Skeeter straight away. Amar's going to try and help out, but
doesn't get the BKB.
He's got to back off. They lose their carry. They will get the Olacore in return, but they won't get Thompson. He's out with the BKB in the win run.
Quick and explosive kill.
And Yuma, he cleans up Crit at the same time on the top lane, able to find him here by the looks of it with the help of King Jungle. So LGD continue to find these favorable trades, keeping the overall net worth even, you know, considering the fact that they're against this carry Alchemist, and being able to get away with plays like that. They fully commit onto Skeeter. Falcons, they couldn't get there in time to keep him safe.
I think overall for Crit, right, the fact that he's not there is a bit of a problem, right? He has to be the one that's sitting around the Alchemist overall for the most of this game, because he is the save. Sure, you've got this arena, but you want to have this SD disruption, because if he's there, that Alch probably lives. Gets disrupted, gets the BKB up, is going to be able to turn, so Crit maybe with some mispositioning there. Lil here. but does get caught from the PL. Thompson did have to use BKB for that kill, and okay, Thompson is even gonna go. I was wondering if he's gonna do this because they're playing versus so many of these, you know, strength slash kills. He's killed up Scotty himself. It's usually not what you see built on these Wind Rangers.
As you said, it sounds pretty good, right?
Sounds very Thompson.
Scotty's great, and just having those extra stats on the Wind Ranger, he's switching.
It sounds very Thompson, but nah, he's switching it up. He's
maybe if this was a pub, he would have done it. You know, he would have experimented, gone for the Scotty mid-Wind Ranger build, but not yet at least. Maybe later. They probably 4th, 5th item.
I think they also communicated, and Yuma was probably saying
he's switching it around a lot, actually.
Yeah, and I think Yuma's probably saying, "I'm going to Scotty. Like, let me do it. It's better for me." And then we can adapt.
What do you think will he settle with? Because he was going for Chrysalis, and now he's queued back up the Lincoln Sphere. Does he need the Lincolns this game? Is that pretty...
Versus the SD Purge, I think the Lincolns is probably the best in terms of defensive and offensive capabilities. The Crit is the best for just straight up offensive, but it's also way cheaper, so... I prefer the Lincolns. It's just more beneficial for everything, right?
That's fair. And it seems like they're already doing enough with the damage, right? Like we just saw then, if they get on top of the Alchemist, they could kill him.
If the SD is not
Maureen
does have a Satanic now.
Yeah, very, very stacked here with the Satanic. There's still a couple of minutes left on the Aegis. They'll settle for just trying to take the tier 1 down on the bottom lane.
I gotta be honest, we're getting quite a treat though. Less than 1k lead. Yes, there's an Alchemist on one side, so you could say for LGD it looks nice because of all this, but Falcons still farming very effectively here. As we said, overall for Falcons, sure, they like to go for these late games no matter what. Even if their lineup might not look like it's the most late game oriented, they're okay. It doesn't overall.
But you would say the Falcons element of them being so used to those sort of situations, I mean, they can make it work.
They can. But I would say, yeah, LGD, there's looks. Just on paper, if it gets to these super later stages, it does look stronger. But we'll have to see how it plays out.
On the hunt again here.
Whisper. That's a great find.
Yeah, they'll go for him.
Literal best target you can find, especially because Whisper's also gone very greedy build. Foregoing the BKB even with the next. Now he probably needs to buy it on this Snapfire, but going for the Chasm Stone and all these other small items in between too. He's vulnerable now on this Snap. Probably for the next 5 minutes or so. If they just get on top of him, he is dead. And Amar now does have the BKB, so this could be a pretty big timing here that Falcons can take over the map with. See how LGD responds.
See what they can do around the mid. Minute left on the Aegis. If a Maureen. So they want to try and see if they can poke it out of him easily. They can. They will be able to take the Aegis out of him. Amar gets the arena down. He's managed to sort of trap the 2 supports. Ult comes in here for Snake King. They'll clean up both Theolico and King Jungle. So the supports are taken down.
Falcon's not afraid of a fight at all at that point without Whisper. When Whisper's not alive, they know there's not really a way that LGD can fight into their lineup. Whisper is very important. Maybe, I mean, I think it is a bit risky that he did go for such a greedy type of build from that off-lane Snapfire, because he can just get jumped and killed over and over again now until he has that BKB. And Falcons, they will have triple core BKB to be able to play very aggressively forward. That's 2 tier 2s claimed. They can go for that last one now if they try to. Quite a big gain in these last few moments for Falcons.
Skeeter very close to having the AC. Interesting enough, though, because I did see him buying and selling. He did for a moment buy the Maelstrom, but then
I wouldn't have liked sold it. Yeah, I would not have liked it. I mean, I can get why he wants the Mjolnir versus the PL, right? But I think this is better for your team and for you overall.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
that's why I thought maybe
he did consider it.
Yeah, that's why I was like, maybe this is a game where Alchemist is built for himself, and yeah, he is at least for now doing that. Eventually, of course, the Aghanims for the Huskar and for the CM even can be pretty valuable. It sounds silly, but it's a CM versus a PL. So like this, if this CM can get to a point where he has BKB, like Aghanims, etc., Snaking can do a lot in this game. Just has to worry about one thing, right? Just a punch if he gets to that.
That's
later.
And of course, Thompson, you know, he's a smart young lad, the Basher Wind Ranger. You know, if this CM gets out of control, Thompson would consider it.
Yuma.
Go with the punch, Shackle in as well. Thompson's going to commit with the BKB and the focus fire. They take down Skeeter.
No save again.
Cover the wheel to Mar. Get the arena off, but it's just going to have to use it defensively to back away from them. They'll lose the Theolico, but it's a good trade so far from LGD.
Whisper. Burn it down.
And we'll lose a second. So Marin at least killing up a couple of heroes, but still losing the carry doesn't feel great. And on LGD's side, Yuma and Thompson getting out alive.
Thompson did have to use BKB though, so has to be careful for the next couple seconds here how he shows himself. We'll be able to distance away. Triple BKB is ready for Falcons, but again, Crit not really close enough to get the save. Skitter did make the jump when he wasn't in that range, so those get killed again because of it. LGD looking like they want to hit again.
Oh, they do. Very nice catch there from King Jungles, able to set up on towards Amar. They'll look to Maori, they'll get the shackle shot in and sharpshooter. That's going to be the both of them dead.
Oh, wards. That's all you need.
That's, I mean, that's a massive couple of pickups. The initial fight, they got the carry, great, but they did lose 2 heroes. But then after that, getting the chance to just wrap around and catch off both Maureen and Amar after the fight. That's the slip up there that's going to hurt Falcons big time getting caught like that. They did not expect that one bit.
They were getting good momentum on the side of Falcons too. Now it looks like they should probably find Thompson.
They do. So they will at least get a bit of revenge back their way around the quick play in the mid. Maureen and Amar might have got caught out by surprise top, but Thompson on the other side definitely wasn't expecting that quick play.
But Yuma is getting to this very dangerous territory now, right? We were mentioning there's not the best overall ways to deal with him. He's a force to be reckoned with.
Look at the stun onto the both of them. Can these two actually take out the PL at this moment in time? Frostbite's there, but the Manta's up. Yuma's able to run away. Skitter trying to chase, see if Amar can get a catch onto Yuma. Yuma looking for the jukes. They're going to have the kisses coming in. BKB's caught. They've caught him in the arena. They managed to find the PL. Amar back onto the map, gets out with the BKB in the arena and makes sure they get a massive kill, taking out the Phantom Lancer.
Oh, this game is truly delivering. I mean, this is fantastic. It's 20-20 at 30 minutes. Oh, and both teams giving it their all. Just constant fights back and forth. And look at the graph, right? It even says, like, it's like, okay, the PL is looking pretty decent for the Alchemist, but it's just these trades over and over again. And the fact that Falcons has this outpost here, that's why they went for this super aggressive play. They can all collapse onto that PL. It's an interesting game so far here. KJ now does have a gem. Has to be very careful.
He's got a lot of money as well. 3k gold saved up here. Do you imagine he will commit for the Lotus, or are there other things you could be considering here when you're on the Hoodwink?
Probably just going to commit for the Lotus.
Is there any temptation for a little bit of scaling yourself? You know, slipping a Maelstrom, hope your teammates don't notice.
No. Not on these Hoodwinks. There's too many other good items. Hex is just too good. You don't need it. You don't need damage as a support Hoodwink.
So, do you think he will go in deep for this? You know, go for this now, Skeeter, because he is now back up the Maelstrom Mjolnir to have that further answer against the PL.
I'm more okay with it now. I was still okay with what he had queued before. I thought the Abyssal and the Bastion has its own function as well too, but maybe they just want to have that extra clear as well too for the illusions. Both are fine. Ooh, that's an early pickup. And not the most usual one we see for the Tusk as a support. Buys the BKB so that he can get in and save his allies.
I like it, yeah. It's, you know, when you got Thompson on the mid, ready to pop off on this win rate, you got to be able to make sure you save him at all costs. And that is buying a BKB, so you can BKB get in there and get your snowball off. You're buying a BKB.
And now they have the BKB on the Snapfire too, so overall Whisper much more protected. Let's see how this fight ends up going. Who's going to get the initiation? Who's going to get the saves too? Crit now does have ways to save with this Blink too.
Yuma coming in with a wraparound. They found Amar. They're leading straight away with the Tusk Punch. Disruption will be there. Buys him a bit of a chance to get out of this one. Amar pops the BKB. Skeeter has got his hands on Yuma, but Yuma's able to jump out with the Doppelganger. Thompson moves in with the BKB. Focus fire onto Amar. Arena gets dropped down. Amar surviving through the damage or the lack of damage. Finally comes in with the burst.
Where's Maureen?
In the Scatter Blast as they do inevitably bring an end to Amar. And with the punch back up, they can slow down, set up for the shackle, into the bushwhack, catch Skeeter on top of it all. Yuma gets a double, they kill off the 4 of them.
A 4v5, they didn't have Maureen the entire time. This PL just running havoc through all of them there. Literally just a perfect move from LGD, catching Falcons totally off guard. They have, you literally just see it, right? Maureen's running across the map to get to his team the entire time there. On the timing, too, of the full BKBs being finished there from LGD, too.
Yeah, I mean, this is, you know, as even as the...
He TP'd to the tier 2 mid. Maureen did there. So not having
fortunate timing, yeah.
to join now, pretty big deal.
Back in action, getting the space for that Roshan. But yeah, this sort of fight, I feel like everyone at home's been here before, where you're in this game, the PL, you don't know how he got there, or why he's disfarmed, or why he's killing everybody, why you can't do any damage to him, but it's happening, it's real, and what do you do? Apart from make sure that you got PL in your bands next game, because you're like, I do not want to play against this hero again.
The scaling is starting to hit.
Oh,
Whisper. Whoopsie.
Maureen. Look at the BKB and the Satanic off, but the win run's there, and that's Maureen dead again.
LGD starting to run away.
Ooh, disruption will buy a bit of safety for Crit, but it's starting to really build up now. This pressure from LGD. Yuma well and truly online now as the PL. The game has been very much kept in a state that's allowed Yuma to get to exactly where he wanted to be, and now he's taking over.
It was 20-20. They found him isolated, but now when he's with his full team, we're seeing the chaos that the PL can really do.
To the high ground they go.
That was probably the most important fight around that top side for LGD, well, for Falcons to actually have. Because, yeah, as we see now, LGD can just walk toward this high ground, pick up, what, 2 full next items. I believe Whisper has his full next one picked up as well.
Can Falcons find a way to stabilize the game again against this Phantom Lancer?
They have to have their whole 5. It's a full refresher now for Whisper.
Does certainly feel like, you know, Yuma, once he has that heart online, like how are you gonna kill him? How are you gonna kill this heart PL?
You have to isolate him, and just like it has to be like a 5 versus 1 essentially. And even then, we've seen what these PLs can
Lo cachan los ingleses.
Because they just don't really have on their lineup at least a clear kind of big scale up on burst physical damage, right? You got the fast flurry of attacks, sure, from an Alchemist with his chemical rage and the attack speed of the AC, but there's nothing that is really going to just consistently cut through a PL with thousands and thousands of HP.
Let's see what their next option is to try to do it, right? Because they have to try to find a way, even though they know that they're in a very dangerous position here. Skater is going to go for them. Mjolnir has the Cloak of Flames as well, too, but it's not any of these Aghanims. It's not any like extra stuff for Snaking to deal with this PL or any of this either. LGD, they've hit their stride pretty hard now.
I mean, honestly, yeah, the cut. Ow! Look about Snake King, he will get caught out. But maybe later down the line, the kind of the BKB Axe, high level CM, that might be one of the better options of damage against the PL.
He kind of just, I mean, this hero does so much damage when he starts to get to this point. You know, we were talking, actually, I was with Saberlight at, what was it, lunch or dinner yesterday. We were talking about PL in particular, because I was like, how do you address this hero right now unless you have pretty much like 3 full counters to him? Because as we see too with their itemization, right, it's a Radiance Alchemist. They buy the Shivas on the offlaner, which are the old traditional counters, but just not the same as it once was. The hero just hits his timings, and if you don't have overwhelming way to deal with him, he just runs through you.
I'm just really top lane.
Dobson.
Looking for the wraparound onto Amar.
Does see him, but he'll be able to get himself out. I think for Falcons overall, you have to just, when that next Aegis goes down, you probably just have to go for some type of 5v5 fight, or just try to catch someone out of position here too. But as we're seeing, I feel like LGD, they're very prepared for all these moves, at least in these last, I mean, for most of this game at least.
It really has. There's sort of the play from the 4 of them around kind of the space that Yuma's needed. It's been there, right? They've matched the moves of Falcons
very fast,
and a lot of the times outplayed Falcons in some of those early maneuvers.
Yeah, it's 20-20, right? They're matching every single time there was these kills that was coming up from Falcons. It's not like Falcons was getting out cleanly, nothing like that. LGD was getting cleanup kills, and Whisper now has it 25. Now we're seeing that win probability
it's
absolutely insane.
When a PL's in this sort of spot, and especially when it's someone like Yuma on the PL, he doesn't lose these games. Unless Falcons can find some miraculous sort of play or way to take him out. 50 seconds still on this Aegis, so I imagine they ideally want to try and time it with that.
Yeah, I imagine you can't just go for a farm. I mean, obviously, you can't go for like a farm game now by any means on Falcons. You have to do something kind of crazy, find them around a ward, but lots of items being picked up also for everybody else on the side of LGD too, not just Yuma.
Yeah, this Aghanims on the task on Theolico is going to be very annoying, right? Even if you did have all the items in the world on one of these heroes, suddenly you get kicked a million miles away from the PL and you've got no chance of actually just laying down the damage into him.
Let's see what they go for.
It's difficult. Down from that top one, treat himself to Daedalus. Ready to start getting the Dragon Lance.
And honestly, the great thing about playing these type of like Wind Rangers and whatnot, when you have a PL, right? There's so much distraction. Now you actually get they're like, good luck purging me. There's 50 illusions on you. I'm just gonna run in.
You got 2 very slippery heroes, very farm slippery heroes that you're trying to deal with.
And you can see how Falcons, how they're posturing, right? Not really able to step out. They're like, okay, we kind of have to play around this ward, hope that one of the heroes of LGD gets caught off guard and we can take a number advantage, but LGD's not giving that positioning here. Thompson in a very careful spot, Whisper as well with the boots of travel to join in with his team and just camping high ground. Posing the question to Falcons, What are you going to do now? Our PL is fully online. All right, the Falcons, they're going to go for a pretty risky one here. With their only ward that they have right now on this top side, they're going for the smoke move.
It's tough. I mean, ideally what they try and find and burst Thompson. Maybe. Yeah, because the Wind Ranger, maybe you can still burst.
Honestly, just burst a single, one of the targets, anybody. Need to get a single kill before the
Jackal comes out pretty quickly. There'll be defensive disruption. They do jump forward to take out King Jungles, but kisses are coming in. Thompson just goes for a Wind Run TP. He gets out of there. Marin is being out soon. Dealer jumps back into the point, but Marin will get the same dealing. Starts to heal up, but he gets kicked away to the side. They've lost Skeeter. Amar's trying to back up with the BKB and his shield up, but Theolicor and Numa chase him down. Falcons, they're going to lose a third hero off this fight. They only got the hoodwink.
PL too big. You can feel the desperation from Falcons trying to go for something here, and they can't even, I can't believe they can even kill Thompson. He just Wind Run and stood his ground, TP'd out. Get themselves the kill. They don't even get the gem, don't get out with it, and they lose their 2 main cores. Maureen, the only one who actually really kind of does any damage there for his team.
Uy, claro. Sí, el aliento de Hydra. Huevón, lo va a desaparecer.
Definitely not what you want the case to be if you're against the PL, if the Huskar's the only one doing something, because the Huskar alone is never going to take out a PL at this stage of the game.
Kind of none of them will, right? It needs to be all of them in unison to try to put that effort together versus this PL at this point. As Yuma, time to clean up the base.
He's ready to close this one up here. Falcons, can they find one more fight in them?
And I gotta say, it's a pretty big deal for LGD to do this when Falcons, they put out that Huskar as the first pick, right?
Yeah, it's a big move. The jump in onto Theolicor. Thompson, he gets the shackle and he just takes out Maureen.
No spear again.
And he's dead without buyback. Crit's gone. Not sure how much more of this Falcons are going to want to endure. They're probably starting to look towards game 2. No Maureen for 70 seconds.
And I think
not have the buyback gold.
And I think me and you are looking to maybe no more Mars as well. Poor Amar again. But
he had to try it, right?
He did.
You know, first game of the tournament. See if the Mars can, you know, if it can be made to work. Yuma, line of time, but the Lotus comes out. Skeeter's dead. The BKB's come to an end. This game comes to an end. GG is called. LGD turning up it in game 1, featuring Thompson. They get the win here against Falcons, and in a very confident manner, as you say, they turn up. They say, "You can have your Huskar mid. We don't care," and they certainly did. Excellent play all around from LGD. Falcons getting shaken up.
Falcons getting shaken up for sure. The Mars dying a lot, and overall for Skeeter too, right? A couple of these times, no Shadow Demon saves when they were getting these advantages. He kept dying too, so LGD playing really nice here.
Absolutely. We'll see if Falcons can punch back hard in game 2, but this game 1, impressive stuff from LGD.
A great start for LGD, getting that momentum in their first game against the defending champions Team Falcons, and some might say great start for Falcons as well, considering the majority of their tournaments, including the ones that they do well in and win, they lose game 1. It's their MO. That's just what they do. So if you're a Falcons fan, you're not totally surprised or unhappy with this, because this is just their, you know, their good luck badge. But a lot to break down with this first one. I think, Saber, we were treated to a very cool game 1.
No, this was incredible. I thought both teams played super well. Like the early game rotations, I thought LGD made super nice rotations, coming bot, opening Whisper's tower, and then Falcons tried to do the same and eventually did. It was super close game. They got the first Aegis on Falcons, and then eventually once PL got the Skadi, they managed to claw their way back in.
Yeah, I mean the late game, if you just look at the last like 5 to 10 minutes of the game, it does look like, oh, they got PL'd. But that absolutely was not the case early game. I love these games of Dota where one team has an Aegis and the other, being LGD, actually smokes into the Aegis and gets a kill. Where you have these like subversive plays where you know that the play when a team has an Aegis is to dodge, but because both teams know that, then it's actually a good move to go try to pick somebody off. And you just have these like next level things happening, and it's really cool for a team that has a stand-in. Like, they didn't look at all like they have a stand-in right now. This was just good Dota.
It was just good Dota fly.
Yeah, I think this entire game, I really liked how LGD positioned their heroes, where Thompson was constantly with the Tuskar. They had like these pairings on the map where they can continue pressuring A lot of good reactions as well. Like Saber said, they took the bottom tower, they defended their top tower, they slowly got a little more out of the map than Falcons did, and it was like this game of cat and mouse where both teams are trying to attack each other on different locations, and that's what makes for an exciting game, right? It was not really over until it was over, right? When the PL was like too much to handle, but until then it could have been anybody's game.
Yeah, we put a lot of emphasis at the start of the game on the mid matchup being the X factor, and we got treated to a Wind Ranger versus Huskar in our first game. It didn't really. Okay, I was kind of expecting Malrine to run away with it a little bit. That didn't really end up happening, Tankins.
No, they were kind of going blow for blow, which I find quite exciting to see Thompson coming back from, the streamer life, and he's actually duking it out with the best Huskar in the world in the middle lane. And we saw a lot of the matchup, right? We watched a lot of it.
Yeah.
Malrine was doing all of the annoying stuff that he normally does, where he's like running under tower, taking a few tower shots, taking aggro from creeps, going for those like annoying denies. And yes, he did have an advantage. He was winning the lane, but only very slightly. Like Thompson was wind running at the right time. He was trying to go to side lanes, hitting power shots. He was also getting every little thing that he could out of the matchup, which is just impressive.
What's even more impressive is that LGD now have beaten the Falcons Huskar, which makes the rest of this series a little bit easier for you, because now as Falcons you have to decide, okay, do we run in the back? Clearly they have some idea of what to do against a Huskar. So you're not as afraid as before, right? Because before you were like, okay, we need to ban it. Well, okay, some stupid panelists were like that, but LGD, they were brave and they decided to play against the Huskar. And now you've beaten it, and suddenly it opens up new avenues in the draft of what else you can do.
Yeah, and we have one standout player, Yuma, with his Phantom Lancer. I know this is not. This wasn't an easy choice, Fly, but we gotta go for Yuma on this one.
Yeah, I think we were debating the supports or Yuma. Obviously all of them played well to get this win, but Yuma did carry the game at the end. He got this PL pick. When it goes to late game, you know how annoying PL is to play against, and we have a 15-2 and 8 score on Yuma, almost hitting 1k XPM, almost 900 GPM. Clearly the guy played really well. And then you had Whisper on the offlane on his Snapfire. I think that's sort of like a signature for this guy. He always busts out some cool heroes, and he went for the scaling magic build with the refresher, and you could see he was a menace in fights where Falcons, they had to target Whisper first, else the fights were just too difficult. So these two cores caused too much problems in the end.
He was so fat on the Whisper, on the Snapfire.
He was big. That's the thing with Snap. I totally get that there has been nerfs. Maybe she's not first pick, first ban, god tier hero, but you always have potential to win the game with Snap. We saw the amount of damage that she was doing in the fights. I really love the way LGD played the fights, by the way. I think you mentioned it in the game where you said snaking on CM is actually a really big problem.
Yeah.
You say that, and then immediately in the next fight, I see Theolacor and Whisper just gun it for snaking in the fight, and they just say, okay, this guy's not going to have the impact. He was level 19, and his mid Huskar was also level 19 at that point, right?
Yeah, he was having a fantastic game. We're going to focus our attention a little bit earlier on in the game, because we talk a lot about the laning stage, of course, and how much impact that has throughout the rest of the game, and one rotation in particular caught your eye, Jenkins.
Yeah, I mean, this was maybe the second rotation that we saw from LGD that I think we all agreed, damn, these guys are cooking. This is a really good rotation. Thompson coming towards the top lane, seeing that basically the Falcons off lane is super pushed up. Just the way that they used the spells in that fight was flawless. Thompson recognizing that against Huskar, who is going to eventually start outlaning and outfarming you, you need to abuse the fact that you're better at making moves. And LGD, for pretty much the entire game, they were finding these rotations at the exact moment that they had to against the reigning TI champions.
Yeah, and I think we saw a couple of rotations and a couple of fights going the way of Falcons after that, and it kind of looked like
timing with all their blink daggers on all their heroes, and this is a fight that on paper it should be a massive stomp for Falcons, but the spear misses and he gets tipped by Thompson, actually classic Thompson, And that kind of leads to the fight just breaking apart. Everybody reacts from LGD, and they're able to stop this insane timing from Falcons, which I think would have propelled this game in a very different direction. So just really well played by LGD, a missed spear, and that's what, this Mars hero can be a little volatile. I'm not the biggest fan of the hero, even though Amar is like an incredible, Mars player. But when you miss a spear and the fight is just cooked, that is a problem.
Yeah, that was... He was having a rough game. It wasn't even just that fight. It was just overall, he was not having the greatest lane, and then the transitions into the game, and it's a little rocky for him. And then we have one cool fight we want to highlight, Saber, that you wanted to point out.
Yeah, so after a very equal back and forth, the PL eventually got his Skadi, and they used this timing super well in this fight. If you look, they got the perfect team situation where they're all on the right and they're just throwing spells from the Snapfire. PL is in, making space. They got the snaking at the top. He's dead, and suddenly Falcons, they had to use their BKBs. They're trying to disengage, but you can't really focus anyone. You can't disengage. Your BKBs are out. And I think after they won this fight, the game is just kind of over. The PL just kind of ran away with the game. They got Aegis after this as well, and it becomes really, really hard to play against the PL with Heart, with Aegis, and yeah.
Got a very important question after that, because I think what we've seen in this game, I feel like Saber the Alchemist kind of felt a little empty, and this was the overall last pick. So normally from the overall last pick you're expecting like an oomph. I didn't feel the oomph. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it's very fair to say. I think Whisper did a really good job playing this Snapfire against Alch matchup. He did really good. He was like one of the highest net worth from his team. So after Alch lost his tower and lost a bunch of farm when LGD supports rotated there, he just kind of never really caught up. And even though on paper he should be good against PL, he just kind of struggled. There was like a bunch of fights where he died instead of Malrine, and I don't know, it was hard for him to make impact. They do have the double jump of the Mars plus Alchemist, and there was a few moments where the Alchemist was able to charge his stun, jump in and stun someone, and I think they killed Thompson in the mid lane doing that, but they just needed a little bit more. The PL matchup is too strong. The PL counters all four other heroes, maybe except for CM, and then the Alch was supposed to deal with the PL, but that kind of never ended up happening.
Big question then, Fly. How is the adjustment going to be for both teams potentially coming into game 2?
I think Falcons, if they look at this game logically, which they usually do, I'm sure AY is going to be like, probably a big reason why we lost this game is actually, I think, Shadow Demon not reacting to the rotation from Hoodwink and defending the tier 1. I think that kind of created a snowball effect on this game that was too big, because Huskar wants to defend his towers because he can TP and jump in. That's how he's going to initiate. But when they lose that tower too early because Shadow Demon stayed in his lane, that's what I would be if I were AY.
Yeah.
So, having said all that, I think next game, I don't think it was a Huskar problem. I really don't.
You're going back for it?
I'm going back for the Huskar.
Okay.
Going back for the Huskar. The Amar, sorry, might have to get benched for now. But the Huskar is here to stay. I think Malrine was a standout player for his team still, him and Snaking.
Yeah.
I think they kind of tried to carry this game, but it was just too hard. So I'm going in for the Huskar again.
That's an interesting breakdown. I wasn't thinking of this at all in terms of the Huskar. But yeah, I do agree. Like Huskar, it looked like Malrine was Malrining in that game. It's just that there was a lot of weight for him to bear on his shoulders. There was even a point where he was almost armlet toggling the Wind Ranger ult, and we're like, dude, no way he does this.
That was super exciting.
Yeah, and he did survive for
longer than we thought, longer than it should be.
Yeah, like he was really trying. But I agree on the Mars point. It hasn't been in the meta for a long time now, and I think we can kind of see the reason for it. Like you guys mentioned, like if you're missing a spear and that determines the entire fight, that's pretty rough.
Yeah.
The other problem is like on paper it counters Wind Ranger. It's good to like trap him in the arena, he can run away, but it does not deal with PL at all. And so thanks to LGD having such flexible draft, they pick the Wind, they get countered by Mars, but who cares? It doesn't matter. The Wind is just mid, and you get like a free matchup. Mars gets punished pretty hard by some of these melee heroes, and then it becomes a bit harder for Falcons to play.
Yeah, the PL is definitely a problem. I mean, I guess to me it looks like if we could talk to Cavs, I bet the PL was a big reason that they leave the Huskar in, because it is one of the best matchups in the game for Huskar, the game for PL against Huskar. And the later and later the game goes, the better it gets. And then, like you said, feeding the Mars into it, you're kind of like, the PL's like, all right, okay, I'll take it.
Well,
Free matchup.
in this situation, we saw there was one ban for Falcons that they could do after picking up the Huskar, and they banned out range separation, which makes sense. If they banned out PL at that point, that would have been it. That would have been changed. That would have been a win for them. Is it that simple? It can't be that black and white.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think they, in hindsight, obviously, I think they should have just picked Skitter's hero. So they would pick the Crystal Maiden with a combo, which would have been fine, whether it's the Tiny, the Alchemist, whatever. Like, they're gonna be doing fine in their lane, even if they get counterpicked. And then they leave the Huskar for last because, you know, they have the flexibility of putting it off lane, which was what I thought initially. They ended up deciding not to do that because they saw the Wind Ranger, but then maybe they didn't consider Wind Ranger as mid. So again, this is like all this chaos coming into play here where it could throw you off, and that's exactly what happened, right? I think they ended up making a mistake, even though I still went and I put my money on them. It ended up being this chaos prevails.
No, it was very clear that this first game that we saw, this was scheduled, this was planned. It was like, okay, we're gonna leave the Huskar in, and this is our plan against it, and it worked out. Would you really go into game 2 just adjusting the same plan, or will you just hit him with something different? Hit him with something that is completely disregarding game 1, strategy-wise?
It's a good question. I think the problem with this Huskar hero is that, from my experience, they always need the AA band. I think he just hates that matchup, so it doesn't really give you much space to manipulate the bands. Like, you can't really replace the AA band with something else. So it would have to be the same bands. You can just have different side lanes. Like, let's say they don't have Mars, but I'm not sure what other hero they can pick, because they kind of need the same archetype of hero of like teamfight / chomp and Centaur's band. But yeah, if they can find some replacement for this Mars that doesn't get punished as hard by the PL, or maybe let's say some Meepo, then maybe they could run with it again. And yeah, LGD, they did not bother banning the Huskar once again.
Yeah, and it is similar to previous game in terms of the first pick going the way of LGD. We do have the Hoodwink and the Invoker banned, and that means that Viper and Lina, 2 heroes that Falcons banned out in the first phase, previous game, they are still in the pool. So maybe a little bit of change definitely for LGD, as they cannot pick Hoodwink anymore on their opening pick. So we'll see where they go for from there. But yeah, the Huskar is still in, and LGD did not change anything on their bans.
It's interesting that in my mind, it looks like Falcons, initially they were like, okay, we will have the Huskar, maybe, so let's ban Viper and Nina, and there's no more counters. But now that they saw that Thompson plays a really mean Wind Ranger, they're like, okay, no bothering banning these heroes, he's just gonna get something, so let's just ban Hoodwink and the Invoker instead.
Solo déjalo farmear. Pero yo no le he visto buenas jugadas de que
respect ban, I guess, for the Invoker for Thompson there as well. They open up with the Clockwork. This is a very stable hero and has been doing good all year round, I think.
No pelear, farmear,
and they actually don't slam the Huskar, so they do adjust. I thought they were just going to slam it down again. Like, we're confident, we're going to go with this. But they change it up, and, you know, that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. I think it's okay to take a different perspective instead of just slamming your head against something. I think LGD is also a team that has a lot of experience with Huskar specifically. I think throughout the year they played it a lot, so they probably have more ideas than just one like we saw. So Necrophos, that is a Mars hero, usually. I think he's been a huge fan of this hero, so another healing archetype hero that wins his lane usually, scales well into the game. I don't know if Clock really does anything. I think Clock was just like let's just pick a support that we play on 2 roles, and it's just, you know, nothing wrong with him. So we'll see what they do with this Necrophos.
Is there any interaction between Clock and Necro? Because, like, I know a lot of people were picking, I remember when Clock was like really cancer with the, you know, bowling ball strategy, people were picking cog hitters, like Beastmaster, Lycan, stuff that can just like insta-kill the cogs. Obviously Necro's gaining regen if you're killing the cogs, but I also feel like you can like mana burn and really annoy Necrophos too. Is there any interaction here?
You don't really have that high of attack speed to really kill it. Like, theoretically, if you have a 4 that can hit them with you, then you kill it, but I don't think there is much. It's just like maybe you get mana burn and you don't care as much on Necro because you'll just feel the mana back
eventually.
But I think they're just both solid heroes. Falcons, they love picking their toxic first pick, whether it's Huskar or Necro.
I mean, Lina is a nasty hero against Necro. It's very good with Clockwork. It's one of Yuma's favorite current heroes. I could see him slamming that one down.
Yeah, I think they're going to look for something along those lines, whether it's like Lina, maybe even a Drow Ranger, SF, some kind of range hero. I think SF is not Yuma's favorite hero. I think he likes the other two more, but I can definitely see him going for that. And I think for Falcons, they're going to crit some kind of hero that can protect the Necrophos in lane, because Necrophos is a hero that needs to have a good start, and he cannot get gone on constantly because he's a little squishy in the start. But if he gets a good, first 2-3 minutes, he gets a couple levels, it's very hard to kick him out. So maybe there's going to be like a Tuskar angle here for crit, I can see that.
This does also block a PL pick. I mean, you probably wouldn't want to run like Clockwork PL. I mean, I suppose you can run the clock as a 4.
Well, funny you say that because LGD did ban Senti and Sven, which are both heroes that are good against Illusions / Meepo. So I'm wondering what is their angle with that. Maybe it's just Skitter has a really good Sven, let's get rid of it. But from the bans, it looks like they don't even care. They might just send it again.
I don't see the PL versus Necro personally. I think that'll be a bit too crazy. Mirana, that's another, I think, really good support in this meta. I think after Hoodwink, this is probably the one I would call as being one of the most popular ones right now. She's been buffed constantly. Her Starstorm is very good. It's a Snake staple as well. I think it's good against Clockwork, where you can just leap around, you can get out of cogs. Just a really solid support right now.
Does so much damage. I like that people are going for the Ags build again.
It's fun.
A lot of damage coming out from that as well. It's like his Crystal Maiden, so similar vein to that, as LGD is taking a little bit longer here to think about what they are going for in their second pick phase. And they got to pick 2 in a row. We got ourselves the Lina, seems to be a very hot hero right now.
Someone had to do it.
Someone had to do it, but I can see her in 3 of, including this one, of the games live right now, because one of the games is not live, but she's everywhere.
Now, Lina has just been a really strong hero in this meta, because she's flexible, where she can go this magic damage build, where you buy the Aghanims, and you're sort of like this assassin on the map that can deal like 2,000 damage straight with just her spells alone. And you also have the other side of it, where you can play just a regular carry style, where you buy Mjolnir, you buy maybe Visa Travel, like the old Lina carry style. So it is a flexible hero, and it's very much like the first game where they picked this Wind Ranger and it can go multiple roles. I don't really know if Thompson plays Lina. I don't think historically he has, but this guy is like, he can pull out anything, it feels like. So another time, another flexible hero. And we see a Spirit Breaker, which is, that's an interesting hero. I have not seen this hero much.
One of Theocor's favorite heroes to play, and pretty good against Mirana, I would say. Like, you run around and you're invisible with Mirana, a lot of the time in a game, Spirit Breaker just happens to be charging. Like, he can always be there to dust, or at least to like give vision for his team. Tiny's pretty good against it, though. Just the fact that you have 2 stuns that like essentially don't care about status resist at all.
Yeah, it's good against Lina as well. It's an interesting draft so far, because Lina is good against Necro, but then they picked Tiny to counter this Lina and the Spirit Breaker. But I would say what my understanding of this Lina hero is that the main reason why it's so OP, because on 15 you get magic resist talent based on your fire race holes, and then you have some like 35% from this. Yeah. Then let's say you're like 25 by default. So then basically all the spells deal half damage to you for some reason. It's kind of.
I'm pretty sure it goes up to like 80% actually.
Yeah, it's crazy. Insane. So that's like more than a BKB, and you just have it permanently. And so far, like Falcons, they have only magic damage and then a tiny hitting here and there. So as long as Molina is able to survive the tiny assault, then you're good. You're not gonna die to the other heroes.
I'm curious to see what they think here, because now they have the choice of either picking the Whisper hero against the Tiny, because it's most likely going to be the Spirit Tiny. So maybe he's going to think about something like Timbersaw, that's a classic hero, even though there's a Necrophos in the game. Or maybe they'll just pick a Thompson hero that can go 2 lanes again, like some sort of like juke. I'm not entirely sure. It might just be Snapfire again. I think it's a good Snapfire game, actually. Dark's here.
Dark's here coming out.
That's bold. That's very bold. Because from my experience, Shadow Demon is pretty solid against Darkseer. If you ult him, he can't search away. And you can also hide him when he tries to cut waves the first few levels. So the lane is not the easiest, but I would say Whisper has a super good Darkseer, and it also buffs their teamfight a lot. Like I can imagine some teamfights where he's gonna vacuum into charge on 4 heroes, Blins is gonna stun, and boom, you just lost the fight.
I mean, I imagine it's going to be Mirana safe lane and SD top, but I agree with your point. Like Darkseer, Spiritbreaker combo, I think it's a super old classic combo because those heroes just pair really well together. You put the shell on the Spiritbreaker, he can charge other lanes, and it's like, you know, it's another hero in the lane. It's like Spiritbreaker plus a shell. It's like so much damage. So they went for the combo. Like I think Tiny is one of the better heroes against Darkseer because he doesn't care about the wall. He's decent in lane. So I feel like they more picked it for their own draft as opposed to trying to counter Falcons, which is totally fine, right? Like, I can see it.
Pretty nice to have like Greaves pipe fire too. Maybe it'll just be the pipe. I'm not sure if people are going. I know like the Ag build is a thing on Darkseer, but pipe against Necro Radiance, all the magic damage coming out of Falcons feels pretty nice.
We have an OD being banned out by Falcons. Is that just because Falcons feels that LGD needs something to save people from the Reaper side?
This is because Thompson has been playing OD. I'm dead ass serious. It is a scourge in pro level pubs right now. Is OD.
Okay.
You are just insanely tanky. It is the latest Thompson creation. So it's cool to see that they're respecting it here.
I like the research that they have to go through. They have to go through a screen and look at a little different.
Look at the VODs.
Look at the VODs.
I mean, pubs might not be public, but you know, Thompson's are.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything.
I'm sure they actually did it. That's so funny. So yeah, I honestly don't know what Thompson's gonna play. That's the hardest call I think anyone can make on this panel.
All right, they banned out the Huskar and the Ember still, so the respect for the Huskar is still very much there. Is there anything we can learn from those two bans in particular that Thompson might not want to play against those two when he plays X hero?
I mean, Huskar, no. That's just every mid laner hates playing against that. Giving Falcons last pick, Huskar is just stupid.
And the Pug.
They banned the Pug. That's so funny. Like he's laughing.
He knows. This is a hard call because I think it's, for example, it's like a good puck game potentially for LGD, but you just can't call this stuff, right? Like, I guess it's Lina mid.
Yeah. Unless we're gonna say we're not even 100% certain. You never know.
We're all like scratching our heads. Okay, so I'm thinking it is Lina mid, and it'll be like this magic build, which is very good this game because he can pop one shot anything here, except the tiny. So what does Marine have against Lina mid? Because I think this hero is very hard to straight up beat in lane. I actually see Puck for him as well. I think it is a good matchup against Tina, and they can. It's very good against Spiritbreaker as well because you can dodge the charge. So I think Puck is a pretty good, solid choice for Maureen.
Yeah, I can see it. I think they need a playmaker because Tiny needs to farm like 2 or 3 items, like some Echo Saber plus Blink, until he can make moves. Okay, there we go. Pango is really nice too. Yeah, you can play through the Pangolier, like fight with him whenever he has roll ready.
No, it's Thompson Gyro.
It is Thompson Gyro, wow.
Hold on.
He's bringing back the old EI combo right here.
I gotta respect that. You know, I like the LGD, they bring Thompson on their team and they're just giving them, they're like, dude, you're the GOAT. We're giving you the GOAT heroes.
But I have no idea what he's gonna build, because on one hand, you kinda... It would make sense to go right-click build, but you're not gonna play carry gyro from mid, no?
Corella's Crozier. It's
Perhaps,
your way
perhaps.
against Necrophos.
It's time to Crozier.
On top, I think he's gonna go some like pseudo magic build.
I think so too, because they did buff something like the cooldown on Rocket or his Q,
Like shard and then run at them?
yeah. I think
so.
people were talking about on the recent letter patch support gyro, and you know, because it's magic damage gyro, that is right up Thompson's alley. What a great first series we have.
I love it.
TI,
I
what
love
a
the Thompson
fantastic
X Factor.
What a good day.
It's some good players, Thompson players coming our way with this first series. I mean, dare I ask, Saber, do you have a favorite when you see these two drafts on the screen?
Yes,
Saber,
of course. I do have a favorite, and it's LGD all the way, always. I think they... Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what he's gonna do with the gyro, but I am sure it's gonna be epic.
I think it's gonna be Falcons again. I'm gonna go Falcons, guys. Marine's gonna pop off in this one.
You gotta go for the stability. Marine had a good game in game one, even if the game didn't go their way, so you gotta trust him too. Then a quick question, Jenkins, before we head into the game. We had Amar in game one have a rough game. Is he gonna have a better game? Is he set up for success a little better this time around?
Yeah, I think he's kind of chilling. I mean, Lina is like a good answer in the game to Necro, but in lane, I think Necro's totally fine. You give him Marth like a good lane, and the guy will snowball the games. I think he'll be good this game.
Well, let's see if we can get a tie out of this one, or if LGD will take the first series with a 2-0. We're heading over to OD Pixel and Fong.
Thank you very much, CBS. Game 2 time coming up between Falcons and LGD, and some excitement with that last pick, of course. We saw in the bans right there, they're like, well, we've got to ban some of these Thompson heroes. The problem is you can't really ban all the Thompson heroes, because all the heroes are Thompson heroes. He's going to bring in this gyro mid. What do you make of this, Vol? Do you see the sort of the vision here? It has had some little buffs recently, the gyro.
A lot of mana buffs, right? I think it was Missile got reduced from like 120, the scaling got reduced, so it's like 120, cooldown got buffed, and then Barrage got set to 75 mana, I think it is.
The mana cost.
So overall, right, fighting is going to be something that he's going to be looking to do constantly, and I have no idea what to really expect from it. I do like that there's a lot of magic damage, though, when you see a Necro first pick, right? You're going to be able to bypass that at all times. He can't just press Ghost Shroud this game and be safe by any means, right? Everything bypasses it pretty much. So, yeah, this would be pretty interesting. And I think overall what LGD just wants to do, right, is fight, fight, fight. We saw it work in the last game, right? They matched the aggression moves because we knew that Falcons, overall, that Falcons was on a bit of a timer in that game, right? They wanted to play fast and aggressive. I think that's what LGD wants. They just want a lineup that's going to be able to run at them. Even if they're behind, you just bring this Darkseer plus Gyro together. These two heroes are insane in team fights, even if they're behind.
Oh, yeah. They've definitely got some good wombo combo in their hands here. LGD.
But Falcons overall, I would say this time with much more of a stable draft share. The last one, it was still there.
I mean, there's no Mars,
it's
right?
super stable.
There's no Mars. There's a Necrophos, and you know, Mars. We're not a big fan. Necro, this hero's kind of crazy. This is a great hero right now. Absolute night and day.
I think Amar went from playing maybe. I mean, I'm going to say this kind of mean. Bottom 2 offlaners to one of the top 2 or top 3, right? So
definitely in pro play for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so this is interesting. KJ already a little different of a thing. Level 1 cogs are been nerfed pretty hard, so he's actually going to go battery assault level 1. Going to take quite a bit of damage here from crit. Some good body blocks coming in. Trying to get that early aggression onto Amar here. And yeah, let's see how these lanes end up going. I feel like I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of cool action on these side lanes, but I've never seen Gyro versus Pango in the mid lane, so I don't really want to look at the side lanes, right?
Top lane. King Jungle's trying to be as annoying as he can to Amar, but never really going to be easy with the disruption and the illusions. Yeah, the battery assault damage is going to get split pretty reliably by Crit's play that.
Yeah, SD, one of the better heroes in general versus the Clockwork. And overall, again, sure, Crit had a bit of a rough, not the best game overall on this SD last time. Again, he does have some really good plays he can do with the disruption and with his ultimate, just to stop the, the Darkseer in particular.
This mid, Gyro. What's the build-up? You're maxing the missile, you're maxing the barrage, what are you maxing now?
No, you're maxing both.
Okay.
You go 4-4, right? And then
so no points in flag.
I honestly, I have no idea on. I have no idea what build he'll fully go. I imagine it has to be some type of pseudo caster build, or like they were mentioning, Krullas, right? Maybe he does some type of weird what the potential could be for it. As it is Thompson. overall, so it can be pretty crazy. And he is playing versus this, Necrophos overall, and he already has a right clicker. So is he actually going to go down that right-clicking route as well, too, or is he just going to be that full spellcaster?
I think you're absolutely right. The fact that he has the leaner doing the right-click
exactly.
means it just lends much more towards playing for that mid position to go for some sort of cool magic build.
Yuma, he's got a fairy fire. We'll have to pop it. Should be all right, but the pressure already starting to build up here from these two. KJ starting to drop low as well.
Yeah, it's looking tough, and as you sort of pointed towards, I'm not really feeling the level 1 battery assault in this situation.
Not versus Shadow Demon. In most situations, it ends up being weak. But what do you get though? Like, right, both. There's not really a great option level 1 nowadays on the clock because the cogs have gotten nerfed so much, and you don't want to give extra regen.
But can you not at least stop them from getting away with these sort of aggressive plays where they're moving in onto you around the tower?
Theo might just be dead here. One more hit.
That's going to be a first blood for Snake King.
Too much damage. Yeah, I mean, overall, probably. It would have just been better to play like this. He was just trying to get this kind of cheeky level 1 play, but now it might end up hurting quite a bit here in this top lane. Malrine has 7 denies right now versus Thompson, so it is even at least in the CS in particular, but yeah, those extra denies definitely going to be huge. And yeah, I don't know, this is 4 CS on Alina. So I mean, this battery assault type of aggressive play, it's hurting Yuma a lot as this Lina right now. That's actually astonishing. Only the 4 last hits versus this Necro. I've seen Amar destroy lanes with this Necro, don't get me wrong. But wow.
Well, one thing for sure, the mid Gyro is definitely going to get put to the test this game.
That is for sure.
Thompson, he's going to have a bit of a tougher one to try and carry through the early parts. Last game on his Wind Ranger very much did carry kind of that early game. This one's going to be a little bit heavier for him, considering how rough the safe lane's going on LGD.
Okay, he's going Vessel then, I guess. That's the build, right? Since he's playing versus the Necrophos, that actually does make sense.
Yeah, so, I mean, someone's going to have to buy it, right? Yeah. And it does make sense that he would be the one, too.
At least the Urn. I think the Vessel actually does. That is an old build that we used to see from the support Gyros in particular, too, so maybe it is going to be something along the route that he goes, but...
I think you want to go for full Vessel Rush, right?
Yeah, I think so. We'll have to see.
Especially when the Necro's having this good of a start. Someone's got to have some sort of answer to try and slow Amar down.
And I like Vessel versus Tiny too, right? Just high HP hero, ends up being pretty successful as well. Charge in the mid lane. Malrine, more than healthy enough.
Just keeping him away from the water runes.
Also, we'll get the fill up. Nice little backpacks. Lanes overall, Falcons in a much more comfortable position. I feel like they were mentioning on the panel too, I feel like this game overall, LGD, they like pick these heroes for their lineup rather than try to counter it. Because the Darkseer pick in particular, right, it's not really countering anything, it's more just further lineup. So we're seeing the result in the laning phase, right? Versus that Tiny, Skitter is able to get that free farm. They're able to pressure as well versus the Spirit Breaker with the Mirana. So at the moment here, Falcons, honestly, all 3 lanes looking pretty solid.
Very, very solid start here on these first few minutes.
Oh, and it's 32 to 12 on Necro versus the Lina. That is pretty crazy.
Not been an easy safe lane.
No.
And of course, the safe lane that, as you were saying to me during the draft, you're maybe a little bit surprised, not only because we don't really see the Gyro mid, but just because you felt that was actually lane top. Well, I thought mid. They're trying to make a move on to Malrine, but backup comes in from Snake King. The heal, of course, taken out. Thompson will get to walk away, but takes a lot of damage there from that attempt.
I thought they were going to swap that.
In that safe lane, you could have seen a Gyro doing all right up here. Or at least doing better than Alina on the early levels. Still it would not have been fun.
It probably wouldn't have been that great either, but yeah, we just haven't seen this Gyro mid, so we just have to see what it's going to really do overall in the game. So far in the laning phase, we're not seeing too much of it. That got insta-cancelled.
Yeah, he decided against that immediately with the yellow core.
Did he like misclick it? Like, because I didn't even see the animation of it. It looks like he just before it even started at all.
Well, not going to be able to make a play top.
Nope. Power rune. Going to set up for this one around the top side here. They're bringing everybody. 3v3 in the mid. We'll get the RNG. Thompson will. The crit. Actually able to sneak between the 2 supports. Able to just hit it away.
They might be able to go for him.
Disruption.
Well, probably not going to be able to. They've got the missile, but it's going to be able to create quite some distance between them.
It's way too far.
They won't be able to chase for the kill.
Too risky. Okay, level 5 here for Thompson.
Is it?
Find the connections. Malrine is now 6.
This one does feel like it's going to get pretty hard pretty quick. This is, if LGD are able to clean kind of their act up out of this early game, it's going to be very impressive. This is a very, very tough start. As we've seen, Thompson on the Gyro, it's just not got that same kind of
ease with the rotations, right? You can't just, not like on his Wind Ranger where you can go up and down the map without losing too much mid. And you're much less mobile, it's so much harder.
And not like he's elusive, right? If he does get, I mean, sure, if he'll build up the movement speed a little, if he gets some damage from his barrage and all that, but if he gets caught by a Rolling Thunder, he's dead in like 80 to 90% of those scenarios at this point. So definitely seeing a lot more difficulties for LGD, at least in these first 7 minutes.
Yeah, 3K lead already for Falcons.
But what their lineup does do, right, is what we were mentioning, is the 5-man, right? I think that's probably what they were thinking about, is this Darkseer group up. Because I've seen this quite a lot from teams too, is like when your Darkseer doesn't have this kind of like counter, where he's with like a clockwork and he's versus like a Shadow Fiend, he can take advantage. You end up playing this game where it's like, okay, Darkseer gets this first item timing, you smoke, and you like 5-man with this Ion Shell, and you look for that fight to catch back up with the Aura. Or with the Dominator, which it usually ends up being for Whisper.
Because how much can kind of Whisper carry the early to mid? Darkseer against what he's up against. Or
not easy, honestly.
It's not an easy Darkseer game.
No, because like we did see one from quite a bit ago.
We've seen some Darkseers carry games.
Yeah, but this is not one of the ones that looks easiest on paper because of how tanky the heroes are, right? Pango just naturally gets tankier. Necro has the increased healing. They have a save from the SD. And Tiny, yeah, that damage takes quite a long time to build up from these Ion Shells, even if you have allies on top of them. And the two heroes who are going to be carrying the Ion Shell, too, as supports. It's not like one of these core melee heroes like an Ember Spirit or something.
No, like you can just kill them.
You just kill them, exactly. They can just get burst in a heartbeat, so we'll have to see how they do adapt and fix after this laning phase. After this laning phase looks quite rough.
Sí, un pata muy pedido.
And yeah, it is going to be that vessel build that we were kind of alluding to there for Thompson. See what it can actually do in the game. He's very squishy too, is my big concern too, right? A Tiny comes in and just gets a combo on him.
Avalanche or a Rolling Thunder or disruption to set up into an arrow.
There's a lot to bring down this arrow.
It's hard to survive. And last game, of course, he did have some mechanics to save him out of Snowball. This game, who's saving it? Yeah, you know, you can't surge someone that's stunned. No. Well, I mean, you can.
You can, but yeah.
You know, it's not, they're not going to be able to run.
You know what save he has? He has Planar Pocket.
That's honestly, that's the one save. Yeah, that's the one kind of one that might able to help him from some of the bigger lockdowns.
I mean, there could be some
redirect them.
There could be some cool kind of redirects, right? If he does eat like a Reaper or something in the mid game in particular, but yeah, we'll have to see if that ends up actually working out.
But I guess that's what's the problem, right? Because the other stuns are not going to get affected.
No.
The Avalanche doesn't do anything against
Arrow,
that.
nothing.
The Arrow, the Rolling Thunder, can't redirect any of those. So it's a tough one.
Yeah, it's going to be a much harder recovery. We see the Boots of Travel already coming out here for the Necrophos. Looks like they are trying to bring the numbers. They throw that level 4 Ion Shell onto the Spirit Breaker. They're going for more.
Let's have a look. See if they can take someone down here. Charge forward into the Laguna.
So much healing.
It's going to get the heals off. It's a lot of damage though, and with the Ion Shell burning him down, it will be enough to take Amar out. Big kill there for LGD.
Level 4 Ion Shell on the Spirit Breaker starts to add up very quickly when they have the stun lockdown. Maureen is able to find Thompson there.
Thompson able to get himself knocked down to the river, which will allow him to run away safely.
Did a good kill, slowing down this Necro, getting Yuma some space to catch up and farm. As we were saying, Yuma's lane is pretty miserable. Still bottom of the chorus, but slowing down and more nicely. And the first Rolling Thunder, not successful, so let's see if Thompson can take advantage of that, with it being on cooldown, if he can look to go for another aggressive play here.
Yeah, because now, he's going to want to hit the side lanes, knowing that the Pango won't be turning up.
Exactly. Either you go for the SD or you go for the Necro. It looks like it's going to be that SD.
It's good aggression. Tiamar thinking about trying to help out. Crip, able to get the disruption off to hold Thompson back. It will be enough to save him.
That was an interesting blood grenade there.
very hopeful.
Yeah, minus 50 gold.
Maybe this blood grenade is going to do 300 damage. You never know. So, won't get the job done. I'll get some pressure onto this mid tower once that move was made.
Honestly, a lot of that damage onto has been snaking. I've been watching him kind of just poke it this entire time here. So, Whisper, as you said, Dominator's finished. He's finding these levels. He's still having an okay time, and Thompson just trying to hold him off from that tower. They'll pop the glyph to ensure that they can protect him. Who's going to get the rune?
Oh, it's going to be Top, and it's going to be Thompson. We'll get the shield rune.
Pretty strong rune. Arrow? Nice try there.
Gives them the vision for the setup for the disruption, though. King Jungles.
Very dead.
Not get out.
They're trying to really protect this mid tower on the side of LGD right now.
It's hard, though. It looks like this tower's going down to the next push.
They have the arrow if they want for the catapult. If they wants to use it. He will. Now he spams it out again. The shield rune is allowing him to just hold them off from that tower for now here still. So ensuring that he can still keep that up so they can get this extra farm here top. Yuma's catching up.
He is just only a few hundred gold behind that of Amar. It's not too bad considering how rough the CS was in the lane.
But Owen, it's been 11 minutes. We have yet to look at the bottom side. How's Skeeter doing, right? He's got absolute free farm. And as we're mentioning, a lot of squishy heroes.
It's a good game for a tiny, right?
One for him to sneak around and find the pop.
You're going to eat up this Gyro or Lina for a large amount of the game.
Until the Lina has like the 15 talent for that crazy magic resist, you can die pretty easily to just a combo if he's able to find the wraparound. So see if Skeeter wants to go for that blink next, if it's going to be the Shadow Blade. I think, yeah, Blink sounds a little bit better this time just to get in. They already have Invis on their team with the Moonlight, doesn't want to be redundant with the stacking of it. And it's just easier to just jump on top of these targets first. Okay, now the tower, let's see. Another call down. We'll deter the push.
What?
Ooh, missed the money creep.
Cogs?
Ah, and even putting the sec, that's different. 2 points in battery assault. This is the old clockwork.
Okay. I mean, as you said, what Cogs just ain't.
No, I mean, no, they are. No, they are. They absolutely.
Well, they are still as
you
good.
Still max.
You still, yeah.
Level 1 and 2 are a little bit nerfed and all that, but they still are incredible.
You still want to get them up.
Oh yeah, you still want them maxed first. Marine.
Charge that slowly connects.
Too tanky, they can't go for him here. So trying to bring Whisper together here with that Ion Shell, so it's trying to, you know, make that move that we were mentioning with bringing all the numbers in, but they're very under-leveled on the supports. Theo's still level 4, doesn't have an ulti to be able to add with that Ion Shell damage. Amar, isolated.
Got the stun. He's looking
very dead.
Got the burst, I mean, big kills to take down this Necrophos. In the middle. I mean, we'll find Theolicor here with the help of Crit, and they should get the tower. They will indeed finally be able to bring this tower down. By the looks of it, Whisper trying to hold them back a little bit with the Mud Golem, sending it over, and trying to deny, won't find it. Snaky gets the last off the tower.
Lo cual no sabes qué más va a sacar.
Thompson falling behind.
¿Por qué Falcon haría eso? Es estúpido. En la primera
another tower that he's looking for here. 2,000 HP Tiny, of course, too. So this is going to be a very hard one for them to go for in this early game. Let's swing around toward bottom. Wisdom Rune is coming up in a minute here. I think Gyro, I believe the call down was used already too. So I don't know if he can show up for the fight himself around here too if they want to contest. All 3 tier 1.
And they just have to let them go.
Very early. 13 minutes they've been able to claim them all, and that's going to allow, I mean, for Skeeter, right? When you get Blink Dagger, a lot easier for you to find some of these targets like this. Okay, Thompson. Vessel is soon finished. They have the level 6 on KJ. Got the hook shot to close the gap. Does put the 3rd point in battery.
Yeah, so they have a bit of a different approach.
So this is anti-necro, so extra damage with it, I guess, in a way, but the cogs are hard to skip a lot of times.
Now for moves like this, definitely going to work out. Extra damage coming into play and more than enough to bring down Amar. Marine and Snake King will respond.
Thompson.
Going to try for the TP out, but there's a Rolling Thunder coming his way. He'll do his best attempt to try and dodge the rolls, but the connections are there, and Marine will clean up Thompson on top of that.
Well, they're bullying Amar, but not worth it this time at all. Another big kill that they're able to find, and now Skeeter, massive stack he's able to find, and now the blink is finished. Can look to speed things up, Snay. This is an old build that he used to do, just going for the drums on the Mirana. He's also finding a fair bit of farm here, fair bit of levels as he tends to. Now he's got no hero to play around too. Rather than just a support with the disruption plus arrow combo, now he's got that blink, Avatos, arrow combo. Pretty much anybody's gonna die to that, the 2 of them. Ideally, finding one of the big cores, either Yuma or Whisper at this point. If they can with the Tiny would be ideal. They do see Whisper right now.
Speed up. Perfect reveal there, gets the jump.
Nice ward.
Set up.
You see there on the far right there from Snaking, even blocking the camps too.
Gonna go in with the hook shot on towards Marine. And he'll be able to break his way out of the cogs. And he's got backup with him, so they can't finish the kill, and now Falcons are ready to strike back. Skeeter walks up, gets the avalanche set up straight away on the Thompson. The Reaper Scythe comes down. Thompson's gone.
And they find KJ as well. Ooh, yeah, this is looking harder and harder. And this mid gyro is looking pretty susceptible to everything that Falcons is bringing to him. Snaking's honestly starting to catch up
he is.
quickly.
He might just overtake Tops in this game.
And overall, like I feel like this is, if you, as we haven't seen it a lot, right? But if you do want to play these type of like mid-jar, this is a hero where you have to like dominate. This is not where you can start to fall behind big guys. I'm going to catch up.
You cannot catch up in farm. It's very, very hard.
Hey, Yuma, absolutely. Yuma and Whisper have the work cut out for him this game.
But they can get Maori in this time. Charge set up into the light strike array. They've got him.
Nice little extra bash there from Theo. The way they got to play. Honestly, just play around Yuma, play around this Spirit Breaker charging, finding heroes isolated until they have Whisper, perhaps with like the blink, so we can get these type of wombo combo plays for team fight. Just got to look for these plays when Falcons is split up, because fighting into them a little too hard right now.
They might try for Skeeter.
He is pretty far up here. They do get some vision of him. They could consider going for it. The Vessel is ready.
Fully backing up. Senses that there's a chance something was coming for him on this bottom lane.
And what was Skeeter Q? I imagined it was going to be B. Okay, it is BKB. Playing versus pretty much all magic damage in this early game besides the Lina. The BKBs are going to be incredibly powerful for the side of Falcons. Yuma's catching up though. So, as much as the Gyro is falling behind, the Lina, which is the important hero for the team, of course, is doing pretty well. Radiant's about to be done. Has been delayed quite a bit here, as we see for Amar as well.
LGD, do you think they would, what's the next timing from their side of things?
I think the Blink, right, from Whisper. I believe that's always the Blink and the Shard if he was looking for it. I think he did go for the Shard first. But if they can, it's still kind of same. If they can find heroes isolated with Spirit Breaker charge, they can look for it, but I think straight up fights is still too complicated.
Not easy to enable things around Topson's Jara at the moment. Still very vulnerable at this point.
And for him, he also desperately will need a BKB in this game, probably as his first item. And yeah, he buys the Shard, so...
So it's going to miss. They'll get the cogs out to stop Skinny getting the initial jump, but he'll still get the combo down on the Topson. The both of them dead.
He's looking kind of like a support right now.
And we'll be able to blow up crit at least with the Laguna Blade, but yeah, this game is that position with Skeeter just getting on top of him. It goes to our power for the top.
Skeeter though.
Jump, but he sticks around maybe a bit too long. And they'll get him.
Massive kill. Oh, baby.
All right, he maybe felt a little bit safer than he should have there. I mean, he was having a great game, a clean opening, and easy kills for him to have, but sticking around on his own there around the mid, they punish him.
That's absolutely massive kill. Lena's now going to be ahead. Get, what, 40 seconds of extra farm time. They get time to get all these ultis to come back up, too. That was dangerous positioning there from Skeeter. Instantly punished. Similar, honestly, last game he had some of these deaths, too, where a bit far forward. Does get caught off. LGD seem to have good reads on how Skeeter's going to play when alone in a lot of situations. Now Yuma, he's got the talent. So 15
very close to the Aghanim's.
Yep.
And we saw, last game, a very different hero, different style, but Yuma's, as the carry, was very solid in how he was able to kind of bring things towards that mid-game to late game. Might be the same here, the space has been created in a bit of a different fashion this time round, more around kind of Topson suffering a little bit in the mid lane this time, as opposed to the domination that he came in with in game one. But, maybe there's a chance to have the same sort of result with just giving Yuma the time and space to do what he needs to as the carry.
We'll have to see, because it is going to be kind of like this pseudo one carry versus 2.5 in a way from Falcons. We'll see if the team fight, right? The Darkseer prowess is going to have that extra effect with the vacuum combos.
And a carry, I guess, against 3 cores that are very ready to get on top of you. Coming in with the Death Seeker, the Rolling Thunder, or the Blink on the Tiny. So many ways of jumping the Lina carry.
And when you're playing versus like an individual carry in a way, right? That's what the SD can also do, purge the Lina. The Reaper is going to go on the Lina as well, too. Everything is going to be thrown on that Lina. 5k lead at the moment for Falcons. BKB, first one is finished up. Whisper getting close to the Blink. If he can get this Blink before that next fight, they still can look to win these fights if they land the wombo combos. Little harder, of course, with the deficit playing into the BKBs, but if they get the initial stuns, would be massive.
He's holding off on spending it. Is there a chance that he's like, well, just get the full BKB first?
Yeah, it might be the case. He's getting the time to be able to sit back and farm it. If Falcons is enforcing, maybe they do feel like they have more time. Falcons looking for more.
Jungles will be the one to tank the gang.
Roshan Tormentor can soon start being on the horizon. The Pango on one side.
¿Pero crees que es lento? Huevón, farmea como mierda.
Snay starting to set up for the area. It does have a ward at least placed down right now.
A ti te vacila desaparecer.
Whisper's getting a lot.
4k gold in the bank. I mean, he gets
Does he go Ags?
Yeah, just get the
That's the
Ags.
question, yeah. I mean, he's getting a lot of
Or just buy the full BKB, or just buy the full Aghanims.
Probably discussing it with this team at least, which one they do find is going to be the most valuable. Crit.
Bash on him. The other call with the control. They will have the damage.
Can Whisper get out?
Taking here with Maureen. They'll get the vacuum wall down on the two of them, but Whisper caught by the Rolling Thunder will die. Snake King looks to jump away. Should be fine to TP out.
Thompson, though, does get found on the side there from Amar and Skeeter. So 2 for 1. And they find 2 cores, of course, there from Falcons. Lead continues to grow and grow, and it really is just... They're going to have to just deal with the fact that they have like a support gyro from the mid lane. He's just going to have to contribute what he can when he gets that BKB. He's had tons of pressure on Yuma and Whisper in this game.
And did Whisper end up spending up? Or is he still holding on to that gold?
He did spend.
He just bought it.
Makes, I mean, yeah, sure. Versus the Pango, right? In that situation, you can't just BKB and get out, right? You can't just survive. Overall, though, Falcons much cleaner approach so far this game, 16-7. Not seeing the same type of matching kills as we did last time from LGD. Ooh, catch on the SB. That ward that Snake had put placed earlier does scout it, and looks like they should be able to set up for that Tormentor as well.
Scaling, looking pretty terrifying from Falcons. So one of those games where they're getting a lead, but they don't necessarily have to be in that much of a rush.
That is the Lina overall. Yes, Lina scales, but Lina is not PL. By no means is Lina a PL. Lincoln gets the shard. Nice when he goes for this type of build and he gets the shard given to him as well too, since he has the drums you can actually utilize. And has Yule, so even more answers versus the Spirit Breaker versus the Darkseer as well has extra answers, so those BKBs absolutely necessary. And Yuma, although he's got a lot of magic resist, still very susceptible to just getting burst at this point.
Son unas capas de protección. Sí.
They will show. He does have Maureen around to help out.
He's got the Yules.
Yules and a couple of leaps. Try for a hook shot with the Blink's already out from Maureen.
Theo got a bit greedy there, going for the extra tap into the ult rather than just going for... I don't know if he saw the Yules, but they might find Snay anyway. And they will. Oh, in the meanwhile, though, the Necro farming. See that lead go from 7 to 9k.
Very, very difficult to keep up on the farm as the mid-Jara. Thompson trying his best here, but after a rough early game, he very likely will stay down there on the bottom half of the net worth.
And he's been, honestly, he's been using ulti on neutral camps. I was hearing it a couple times. We didn't see it on the screen in particular, but he was trying anything to make sure that he can stay at least in a decent position. But yeah, 0 and 4, not finding much of anything. Lincoln's now picked up. Necro will have that protection. Charges along the map will be a lot more difficult. Same thing with Laguna to pop. Yeah, they're just farming. Amar looking much more comfortable on the Necro. Even though Mars is his hero, right? Like, he's just, it's so much more chill. Mars just feels, it puts so much pressure and stress on you. Necro's just so, it just vibes.
I feel like we've seen it previous tournaments, you know, he always gives it one game.
Yeah.
You know, this time they got it away early because it's TI, you know,
game one.
Game one. We're going to try the Mars, and then I think it's very likely they won't try it again.
Yeah.
You know, they tested it. The test was not a success. And indeed, this scenario here in game 2, without the Mars, and with something like a Necro, a completely different showing so far here.
Oh, Thompson. We'll see him Haste pop. Do they actually go the right direction?
They did not, so he might just be able to get out of this one.
They got the scan on him, but not able to quite go for it here. Whisper does have Blink and
Well, if he
BKB
farms
now.
these camps, though, they might come looking for him.
Oh, he's getting greedy. Farewell.
They're gonna get him. I mean, it's always the temptation, right? You know, you've been pushed away from the Ancients. It's like, well, there's a couple camps to the side. And most of the time, these players don't come for you. But Team Falcons,
they do.
They're not letting Topsy get away that easy. They're going to make sure that they thoroughly check the area.
Sí, me di cuenta.
Disruption. Arrow will connect.
Timing,
And Roche perhaps. That's why they want to be playing around down here, right? Get these extra 2 kills, can look to set up for that Roche pretty soon here with the Pango and the Tiny.
Puta, con esa Lothar, huevón, de Skitter.
Much cleaner as we're seeing.
No sé qué tanto hace el Tiny, pero veo que tiene un culo de daño ahorita.
One of those games that does seem to be all Falcons right now. If LGD's able to turn this one around, this will be very impressive.
400 de daño.
Not many a team are able to sort of turn around games against Falcons when they get this sort of a hold on it. And especially with these sort of heroes.
I'm really, I'm like, obviously game is not done, but I'm so curious to hear what the reasoning for this Gyro was, right?
I mean, you just got to trust him, right? It tops him, right? It's vibes.
I mean, yeah,
what do you vibe in tops is give me the mid gyro. Sometimes the vibe, most of the times the vibes work out. This time maybe not.
Se salva, mete tercera, se salva.
Taking it. We'll have another leap. Actually survives.
Getting out. They have to BKB TP on the 2 of the cores.
Tío Licor no se va,
Still
la
the
hueva.
core will not share the same luxury.
No,
Still
hueva.
a few hundred gold off his
La
own
hueva,
BKB.
la hueva.
He will die.
Having to use the BKBs to TP out like that is
Amargo
pretty
Pro
rough
Lincoln,
too,
puta, la
right? Your
firma que
first
buena de
showings
Amargo
of
para comprar
living.
Lincoln.
There's no way that you can fight versus this. And they try to go for snaking too. He
Lo
ends up
caga
surviving.
Alvaro.
5 position, they can't even
Huevón,
burst him
te das
down.
cuenta cómo Amar busca
Thompson,
la manera de cómo
BKB is done,
chucha.
but as you were mentioning, Theo Licor is about to have his too. So
Sí,
like
pero
you
te
said,
das
similar
cuenta
third
como,
support.
joda, se quedó recontra
Even though
atrás,
he has that
huevón.
1 or 2 little items in between too, it's not
Viejo,
much.
literalmente un K de oro para que la Miranda lo pase.
All the weight on Yuma and Whisper.
O sea, puede hacer algo ahorita, mira,
Puta, está muerta la hueva, está muerta.
And they've got the control and damage easily with Humor around. Big money for Thompson as well. Gets the
Mira,
last
a la
touch on
firme,
that.
Tienen mejor team.
el Necro no va a comprar su mierda, va a comprar BKB. Tiene que comprar BKB sí, ahorita.
Any kill is
La
important
juega.
for LGD. Octarine almost finished up for Whisper too, getting closer and closer to it.
I mean, he
is farm is
might be able to
absurd.
do big things. Yeah, Whisper
Farm is
is
insane.
But it's just not one of those games where you're sort of seeing a clear kind of get on top of these heroes, make an illusion, that illusion's going to kill everyone.
No, it's like
they
it's
don't
not
have
like,
that vulnerability.
No,
No siento que sea
like
tan
it's
daño
usually
en
these
México el que
agi carries,
hace
right, where you
Falcons.
get this illusion and it runs rampant.
Solo es
Tiny
el
just
Necro.
he'll turn and kill his illusion pretty quickly here too. So,
Está bien.
but maybe it'll be enough chaos with the Lina.
Para que
Maybe it's the
le des.
Wombo combo with
¿Qué-
all the
qué
stuns
mierda
they can
sacan,
get together
Doctor?
with
True,
charge,
some
the LA.
5-man, light strike,
No sé,
in a
bueno,
charge.
está
High
bien
execution,
también,
but
¿no?
slightly possible.
No, es que el Octarine le da mucha vida
Tío.
también, pues. No
Set
solamente
close to the
piensa, es que
BKB.
no solamente puedes pensar en lo que hace, piensa en los atributos, en las cosas que te da. Te da vida como mierda, te da mana como mierda.
Yeah, the amount that they're forcing the waves in pretty nicely too, right? The fact that Whisper's able to always do this with no
Es como que
pressure,
sacas a Tandic y solo te
risk of
fijas en que
zero.
robas vida, pero no, tienes fuerza como
Always gets
mierda.
that extra farm.
La vida es un
Octarine is
culo.
pretty much done
Y
here.
daño, claro.
It's very fast timings.
No puedes pensar solamente en lo que hace el ítem.
And that
Piensa
just means he's
en
gonna
los
farm even
atributos,
faster.
cosas que te dan también, pues.
Either ready to walk up. Oh, is the Octarine on the courier?
No, he got it.
Por ejemplo, Ska no
Jump
jodas.
forward.
Soleado,
On the Lina.
soleado. No,
If
BKB.
he's there in
mierda.
time.
Had enough stacks. Fiery Soul.
Creo
I think
que
what's
sí.
sitting at like 70-something% magic resist probably right now, so I
Imagínate,
don't remember exactly what it is.
viejo,
65
Ska,
with the 7, okay.
te digo, Skadi Satanic es demasiado ya.
More than enough to protect Yuma. at
Si la
this point.
Satanic te da 30, creo 35 de
But if there's a follow
todo
right? If the arrow connects, then he's very likely just dead there too, so has to be careful.
para matar al Pango.
In the setup on the side here, they're trying to be sneaky.
And can they go
Tiene
for a
Lincoln,
move?
man, ring.
To
Si
Maori?
voltea la
It's a
línea por
little
las huevas.
difficult versus these Lincolns when they don't have somebody else to break it, because it will eat the Laguna. Skeeter will be just fine. And they're still waiting down there. They were waiting forever to try to go for this play onto the Pango if he stepped to the side, but not the case. Amar will go for the safe play. He buys the BKB for himself, as you saw last time. If he gets stunned, he still can't just die.
Huevón, a la firme la Basher la va a hacer.
KJ.
La Basher lo va a hacer todo acá.
Maureen will take care of him. Take him a moment though. Oh, bounces the wrong way. Oh,
yeah,
maybe not.
He's gonna be fine.
See ya.
Igual se va.
Will Maureen let him out though? We'll see. Top Skitter.
That's a big one. Top net worth taken out there. Amar gets him with the side.
Risking his hero there too, right? Playing pretty far forward. I think that's the first mistake we've seen from
he's
Amar the
pretty much not left
motherfucker.
the bottom side of the map. At least, when he has, it's been very cautious. But yeah, right up at the tier 1 there.
Techo.
KJ is being obnoxious. Look at this. Maureen just got his entire mana pool burned. Didn't get him with the ulti either. It's being very annoying.
Skitter's on the hunt again.
Gets the catch, is the arrow connecting?
It is, they get the arrow into the toss. The other course trying to keep them off Yuma. She say Yuma still with pretty high magic resistance, having a tank through, tries to turn the combat.
Physical's too much.
TP, but the punches coming from Skitter.
Ya tienen.
BKB will not save Yuma from
Viejo, ya
that.
tienen pipa. No es de
They're
TF,
just too far
es de
behind.
snaking.
Yuma just doesn't have the protection. They really
que te
just,
dejaste
they
esa
don't have a
cosa,
mid, right? They don't have that mid to rally around.
Mira el
Even though
network, ¿qué
Whisper
chucha
and
te
Yuma are
dije?
trying their
Miren que
hardest
está
here.
necro. La
Thompson's
primera
too far
network, ¿qué
behind
chucha
to
te dije? Iba a quedar
even be
primero
like a
network.
body for him,
Viejo
essentially.
TF es un
Especially
enfermo
this
de mierda
pipe that the team's
farmeando.
got there.
Yeah, Snaking's got it.
What does the mid jar do at this point? There's not a lot of options for Thompson.
No.
El juego en sí fue más centrado
Good
en
itemization, good plays
en
from Falcons
ATF
this time, not
para
hemorrhaging as many
en
kills. We saw
ATF
one
en sí.
on Skater in the mid
El
lane,
GD
but
fue
that
más
was it,
centrado en
right? He
ATF
didn't
en su
really die
pick
that
más
much
que
compared
nada,
to that
pero
last
al
time, the
inicio.
Alchemist.
Sí, es que ahí
Getting
ya a
the push,
estas
getting the
alturas
tormentor, they're
el
taking
necro
all the
ya está
boxes,
demasiado
getting that
premium.
high ground now, getting the racks.
El Tini obviamente va a entrar para matar al
Limited moves
Gyro.
for LGD to make.
Viejo, es que el Tini le entra al Gyro
And they're continuing.
y el
Still 20
Gyro
seconds
se
without
va a la
the Xena.
mierda. Sí. Malrin tiene ulti, tiene shard. Malrin simplemente mete shard y los caga, weón. Le va a dar
Starts to push them back a little bit. They respect the fact that Alina's coming back up in just under 10.
He ain't finishing that charge, that's for sure. Has to stop it immediately. All the waves now starting to be forced onto the side of LGD though, and just hard for them to find any. I mean, we can't see them take any fights. Any of these 5v5 engagements. Pickoffs perhaps, but now we're seeing Falcons just playing together.
Viejo, te juro que esta mierda estaba fuera de lo que creí que sería.
18k de valor neto.
Solo por el Tini, huevón.
18k de valor neto.
Too far out now. You know they're all going to connect. They're trying to find that small little pickoff, and now Maureen
Entra
getting the
Malrin.
jump.
Straight in on the Thompson.
Puta
Be able to
madre.
dodge the arrow.
Ya, bueno,
What's the
Whisper
BKB
igual
make?
tiene
See if he
Basher,
can find
tiene
some sort of way to
Basher
fight
el
back,
pango.
but they're completely spread here, Falcons, so no chance for a big
No, igual tiene
combo.
Basher
Just
el pango.
self-ball onto
Cagao.
Amar. The
Whisper.
BKB's
Whisper
down,
muere.
turn with the side,
Cagao.
take down
Tío Licor también creo
Whisper.
que muere.
Yuma's been caught in the midst of it all, tries to run, goes for the
Viejo, las
BKB
huevas.
TP out, but again, the
Amar ya no
physical damage
muere,
is
huevón.
there.
Por las
Yuma's
huevas.
gone.
Amar ya no
As
muere.
LGD,
Por
they
las
just
huevas,
do
tiene
not
manta,
have
ya no muere,
anywhere
huevón.
close to
¿Sabes qué lo-
enough to
¿Y
throw
sabes qué
back
lo-
at Falcons at this point in the midst of these team fights? They
Viejo,
don't
¿y
have the
sabes qué es lo más
damage.
ingenioso de Amar? Que va a comprar pica,
I thought
huevón.
that's just
¿Para qué? ¿Para
I thought
qué?
that might have been them calling it for a second there.
Lo que haga el Vara
Whisper
con la
outside
pica
there,
cuando
trying to
lo
look for any
marque.
of these fights, but you can just see they
Venga el
they can't
Gyro,
pop any
se
of these
separe de
targets,
él para
really.
que no le meta primera. Se
Yuma
separe
just
del
has to, like,
clock
try
para
to
que salga de
BKB
los cogs.
TP out almost every one of these
Se
times.
salve. Se salve del Darcy para que se separe de él y meta segunda.
We had a feeling when we saw this
Se
gyro.
puede forcear para que la línea no le meta segunda.
Sometimes
O
it
puede
doesn't
salvar a
work
alguien, no
out,
solamente a
you
él.
know.
Literalmente,
And
Amar
both
es
teams get to kind of
un
experiment a little bit. You know, game one, saw Amar trying out some Mars.
True.
Game two, Thompson says, I'll try something a little bit
huevón
unconventional in the mid.
Amar.
Go with the Jara.
No te digo.
Didn't work out here.
Te juro que a veces me sorprende lo inteligente
What do
que
we
es
get game
Amar
3 now?
jugando.
Anything else unorthodox? Probably.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, one loss ain't going to stop Thompson.
Oh, no,
That,
we saw
it doesn't
ODs
push
and
it.
Puck is banned, you know.
He's still going to bring the fun stuff in game 3, you
A
know
pesar
it.
de que le
Amar,
han
though,
metido
I don't
pene,
think
está
we're
más
gonna
nivel que
see
todos
no,
y
yeah, that
tiene
won't
más
come
neto que
back.
todos.
No. He'll stick with the guns.
Bueno,
Stick with
para
his necro. This looks
empezar
very
es un
strong.
necro.
Now, if Thompson wants maximum style points, he comes in with a game 3 mid-Mars.
Oh. I don't think I've ever seen Thompson play Mars.
No le cae, chico.
One day.
One day.
Qué voz más
27k
a la
lead.
firme.
Mega creeps out.
No, pero la firme también,
Dragon
también
Knights.
el
Alright,
negro,
I
pues, mira lo que ha sacado, mira lo que,
Amar
lo que
now
ha sacado
starting
y lo
to
que está
phone that they
sacando,
know
pues.
This one is in the bag. Yeah,
Y está yendo por dedo a lo what? Esa mierda ya esa mierda ya es
Gameplay's kind of
troll.
nice, right? Can
Yeah, I
get out the
mean-
cogs, stop the Spirit Breaker.
Sure.
It's not bad tech against
I
the Spirit
mean,
Breaker,
yeah,
you know what I
whatever.
mean?
Y el
It's really
Tiny- y el
annoying
Tiny
for
no.
Spirit Breaker, I'm telling you.
He can buy whatever he wants.
Creo que más fue por el pan, más fue para el negro para que el Tiny farmee.
On any hero? Is any hero cool with Midas or no? No. But there will be a game. This is not going to be a Midas free TI, is it?
I think there'll probably be a couple. But
someone's going to buy a Midas, but don't do it, kids.
Well, we like it.
The maths is not good. It's really bad. It's really bad. And I say that as someone
con Octarine y encima creo que tiene el talento de reducción de su segunda.
Yes, it's a pretty
Y encima tiene cetro.
And even this is too much for me. So no Midas is.
No, the Roche should be pretty easily secured. Even the ward coverage, Falcons on top of it, even though Mart's going for his Dragon Lance. Some more of these fun items, of course. As you said, it does have some merits, the build, even if it was fun.
Huevón, a la firme es un ítem que no me esperaba para nada la pica huracán, huevón. Puta, como no te digo, puta, cuando ves estas partidas, huevón, te juro que aprendes. ¡Ah, mierda!
Literally anybody's gonna die to him even solo.
Yeah, he's had a great time on the Tiny this game.
Absolute freedom, right?
Huevón, aprendes como mierda en el TI, te lo
Not to
juro.
address the Tiny, but Tiny's able to do pretty much anything he wants this game.
Lo sé ya, no lo sé.
Get the Roche. Another one. The Aegis. Get the throw. The plan here for Falcons.
Whisper in some trouble.
Oh, he's got the other court to try and help him out.
Well, that almost helped, actually. Bashed him into Whisper.
Aaron's going to stay hot in the chase.
He's got a blink, but he gets hit again.
Viejo, no me jodas, huevón.
No buyback on him either.
¿Qué?
So he's going to be dead for this defense. Samar
Dobson.
I'm going to try and go for him. The
Puta,
Mansa's
que
there though.
dodge de AT,
Barely
no
any
me
damage
jodas,
being taken in by Amar.
He's just fighting the two of them.
Vete a la mierda, huevón. Y se muere encima. No, encima se muere.
He's
No
going to
creo que lo
try and heal it up
golpee,
here.
la verdad, pues.
Mosquito comes
Yo
in
no
with the
tenía el
wrap round.
feeling.
Couple of
No,
right clicks from the
recontra
Tiny will do it.
no,
Shuma gone. No buyback on him. And we're going to a game 3. GG's
Mierda,
called Falcons.
huevón.
Striking back ever so hard here in this game 2.
Está en la mierda.
LGD. We get some fun
Huevón, a la
stuff. They
firme
try
me
and come
cagó
in
el juego
with the
enfocado en
mid
Amar
gyro.
para que
This
farme el
one
tiro.
doesn't work out though for Thompson.
Literalmente farme
On
el
top
tiro
of the
y
mid
comenzó a
gyro,
matar.
not working
Puta,
the lanes
ya.
also were pretty disastrous, right? It was 36 to 12. I
Yeah, the
guess.
safe lane fell apart.
De ahí se
very
dieron
early on
cuenta
very
que no
quickly.
podían, no podían matar al Necro. ¿Por qué? Porque si el Tiny se
was
metía en la mecha,
Overall, I think Falcons, they pretty much
dejaron
ticked all
farmear
the
al
boxes
Necro. El
this
Necro
game.
sacó sus ítems de
Much
mierda que
cleaner,
necesitaba
overall, everything looked much
y
better.
ganaron la
Absolutely.
partida. Huevón.
Absolutely. Well,
Párate,
can't wait to see
huevón.
what's going to go down in game 3 because we're going to get one. It's 1-1 now here with Falcons taking game 2.
To be honest, I don't think anybody is going to complain about getting a game 3 between these two teams. Maybe a little bit too cute on the gyrocopter mid, but hey, I am very happy that they tried, and I can't wait to see what they'll try for game number 3, which will come your way, of course, very soon. We're first going to break down this game, as there was a lot to talk about. It was not just the gyro flopping in the mid lane. It was also just Falcons, as our commentary team said, playing very clean Saber.
Yeah, this was a really nice showing from Falcons. Amar, especially on the Necro, you know, that's his classic. He popped off. Marine made so much space. And yes, Skitter on his Tiny, it was like super hard to play the map. He was picking off everybody. With the Miranda combo as well, you stun someone, he gets arrowed. What can you do?
Yeah, I think, Fly, this is the type of Falcons that when you say they play stable, they play structured, this is what you mean. This was just clean showing.
Yeah, this is definitely Falcons prime. You know, I don't know if it's like some self-fulfilling prophecy about game 1 that happens for them.
Fair.
Game 2, they turn up. I think that is a skill in itself, just being able to recover after a loss and be like, hey guys, it's fine. Let's just reset. We did XYZ wrong. Moving on to the next game and just play amazing Dota. I think all of them were kind of on point this game. I also really like the Pangolier last pick where we needed like, hey, we need some physical damage against this Lina hero. Pangolier kind of covers everything. It's initiation, it's a signature hero, and it's really good in the game because the Rolling Thunder is just going to disrupt all the fights for LGD. So really good pick. Malrine, you know, my MVP, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, I like that they went back for the Skeeter Tiny. We were kind of talking about that after game 1, that like this is kind of one of the big advantages of having this guy on your team. You can just get him his generic hero and he will always do fine with it. And if he ends up in a game where he is relatively unanswered, which in this game, I mean, I think he was, like none of the heroes on the enemy side, there's no lifestealer or something that's like countering him. He just popped off. The guy 1v5'd. It almost looked like he was just pubbing, you know.
I mean, when you say like, oh, he 1v5, he was just pubbing. I feel like we should talk a little bit about the gyrocopter, maybe in a little bit. As for first, we are gonna see the MVP, and you'll be happy to know, Fly, that we did choose Malrine on his Pango. He played a great first game as well, so I felt it was only fair to give him this MVP as well. He was solid. Yes, he was up against a gyrocopter, which might be a little bit easier on the lane for him. Helps.
Yeah, I think, like you said, the first game, I think Malrine played really well. And again, second game now, I think his side lanes, they went well. Everybody was like on some comfortable hero, comfortable matchup. No Mars this time, thankfully. So it makes his life easier as well, because suddenly he has a good lane, he can hit his rotations, and get good item timings and actually use it with his other heroes, like connect together, which is what they want. And the first game, they weren't able to do the same thing. Yeah.
No. Second close MVP for me was Skeeter.
I thought you were going to say Thompson.
Oh, wait.
That would be mean. I'm not mean.
I mean, he had a pop-off game one. I feel like
he
this is the dichotomy of Thompson.
You gotta understand, with these heroes, it's kind of like cooking with salt, you know? As a very, respected chef once said, with salt you're trying to put as much as you can without going too far. And I think this Jaro, it was like a little bit too far.
Which chef?
It was... the good old chef back down the street. He has a restaurant around there. I asked him. I mean, he said it in Chinese. Maybe that's why.
Ya mandado tu bota de punta, seguro.
Eso pensé yo también.
Viejo, quiero vomitar.
Huevón, ¿has tomado 2 vasos?
Quiero vomitar.
Habla bien.
Detesto vomitar, pero detesto.
Yo no sé por qué, me encanta vomitar. En mi otra vida fue bulímico. Es que después de vomitar te sientes bien, weón. 1, te da ganas de comer.
No me jodas, weón.
¿Qué te dio? ¿Qué te dio?
El arcano de Shadow, ropa, huevón.
¿De Shadow qué hablas, huevón?
Puta, Rafa te chupó las bolas, huevón. Seguro que te chupó las bolas. No, huevón. Ahorita. Estás en chipote, ¿no, imbécil? Te chupo la bola delante de tu mamá.
Oye, Rafa, no seas pendejo, Yara. Es lo que estoy buscando, concha tu madre.
Rafa, te juro que te la recontra.
Perra. Es el único arcano que me falta. Es el único arcano que me falta.
Toma. Dale tu agradecimiento. Ni siquiera sé si te escucha, weón. Acuérdate que el micro está acá.
Rafa, la firme te chupó las bolas, te lo juro. Si la veo Almendra otra vez ahí en su moto, puta ya, coronaste ya. Yo le voy a decir, causa. Mira, causa, si la veo pasar con su moto, causa, salto y concha, patadón, mierda. Se cae con todas las pistas de Rafa a su brazo, me llega el pincho. Pero le voy a decir a la firme que tú eres el amor de su vida, causa, la firme. Su bobo. No sé, huevón, ¿sigue? ¿Sigue, Rafa?
Cámbiate mejor.
Piola, Rafa, te la chupo. Ya, Rafa, venimos para Extreme y Spirit, plan de puta. Recontra madrugada. Plan.
Creo que no.
Plan 2-3.
Esta mujer ya fue, creo.
Sí, pez. Plan de 2-3, pez. No sé, weón. String Gaming, puta, la firma va a ser hasta más tardecito, pero... Espérate. Necesito ver algo.
Oye, Yara, weón. Oye, Rafa, ¿has gastado 100 lucas en tu amigo?
Viejo, Rafa es colegio, weón. A Rafa lo conozco, puta, desde que...
¿A qué hora será? A ver.
En 40 minutos.
Ah, la mierda.
1 de la madrugada va a empezar.
Vamos a llegar o bien cuando ya acabe, o bien cuando
Dos, casi 3.
estén en el medio.
Sí, en medio, tal vez la primera o segunda partida.
Igual siempre demora un poco más.
Sí, sabes. Ya, pero nos quitamos el perro, hablamos. Un beso para tu culo.
Para la otra vengan, concha de su madre. Por la hueva tenemos Discord.